And welcome a good Saturday afternoon to all on a homecoming weekend at Case Western Reserve University. The Spartan Marching Band is on the field here at DeSanto Field, the home of the Spartans, as they are home today to take on St. Vincent College, the Bearcats of St. Vincent. My name is Ron Yance. This is Andrew Rossman, and we are very excited to bring you the call of today's homecoming battle against the Spartans and the Bearcats. Andrew, you and I both got calls from our wives and girlfriends today and dressed alike. I'm glad they matched us.
Hey, we're aligned, top to bottom.
We are in Spartan blue today, and we're very excited to bring you this football game. The Case Western Reserve University Spartans come into this game 3 wins, 2 losses. St. Vincent comes in with 1 win and 3 losses. They haven't played in 2 weeks. They had a bye week a week ago. And Case Western comes into this battle today, Andrew, with a chip on their shoulder because of a loss that they didn't feel that they should have lost last week at Grove City, 14-13.
Sure, and you think back to that, it took a lot of factors. It comes down at the end of the day, just didn't take advantage of the opportunities that the Spartans had, and unfortunately dropped the game on the road at Grove City. But good news, looking ahead, still everything to play for, controlling their own destiny with a playoff spot, and looking to get back on track today.
You know, when you look at St. Vincent College, and you played against St. Vincent in your playing days here at Case Western Reserve University, they come in with Coach Debelak of Case Western Reserve will tell you a lot of talented players that he feels just hasn't been able to figure it out yet. And he's hoping they don't figure it out today here against his Spartan defense.
Yeah, it's an uneasy matchup. When you think of St. Vincent, you think athletes. They have athletes across the board, and we talked off air. At some point today, probably 3 or 4 plays, you'll see those athletes pop, and if you don't, put a lid on them, it can make for a long day, as the Spartans found out last year, dropping on the road at St. Vincent.
You know, the Bearcats come in. Their schedule has not been kind to them so far this year. They opened the season, they lost to Stevenson 25-21 in a good game, but then they were blown out by Washington and Jefferson by 31 points. Lost to Teal they beat Teal rather 24-16. And then their last loss to Grove City 42-7. Now, you as a former player, how much relevance do you give comparative matchups? Meaning, Spartans blew a game last week against Grove City, lost by a point with 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter and a missed extra point, and then St. Vincent gets blown out by Grove City. Does that mean anything to you as a former player, or is it matchup against matchup in the current game that we're looking at?
I'd say you probably think about it if it helps you. If you ask St. Vincent, they say, well, we just had a bad day against Grove City. That was a one-off. Now, conversely, if you're the Spartans, you say, hey, we got a lot of confidence. We really shut down and held that prolific Grove City offense to only 14 points last week, and St. Vincent gave up 42 to them. So I would say you only think of those comparative matchups if they help you. From the St. Vincent perspective, they're just focused on Case Western and coming out hot today.
Andrew, as I talked to Coach Debelak this week, you could tell in his voice that he is not over that loss to Grove City. I mean, there is a hauntingness to him when he says, I just can't get that out of my system. So he really wants to win today. Obviously, he wants to win, but I mean, it really is important that they get back on track today because he firmly believes in the conference that a one-loss team will win it. He doesn't think anybody's going to go undefeated because there's some parity at the top in about 3 or 4 different teams. Right now, Carnegie Mellon's undefeated, but the Spartans have only 1 loss, and he really thinks that it can set up where in the final game of the season here at DeSanto Field, Carnegie Mellon against Case Western Reserve, that game could be for the conference championship.
Sure, he's confident in this team. He knows the horses that he's got in that locker room, and schedule gods helped out a little bit with, like you said, getting Carnegie Mellon at home at the end here. So, again, good news. Spartans control their destiny. They win out. They will be in the playoffs, which is encouraging not only for the coaching staff but also the guys in that locker room.
Well, you see the marching band on the field, and you can see that the bright sunshine is out. It's a nice shelf-like cloud cover today that has some great depth to it. It's a beautiful fall October day. Andrew and I were talking. Both of us agree this is our favorite time of the year, maybe our favorite month, and we're very excited to bring you what we hope is a big Spartan win today here from DeSanto Field on homecoming. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, Sports Information Director Jonathan Schwartz will sit down with head coach Greg Debelak and get us ready for today's football game. That's next.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
And good afternoon and welcome to Case Western Reserve University to Santo Fields. The Spartans get set for their homecoming game against St. Vincent. Kickoff coming up in just a few minutes. I'm John Schwartz. Joining me is head coach Greg Debelak. And coach, before we get into this week's game, let's go back to last week's game real quick. And I want to in particular talk about the defense, which has now held its opponent to 14 or fewer points in the last 3 games, including last week against Grove City. What's been the biggest change in the defense? What are they doing well now that they weren't earlier in the season when some of those points were coming a little heavier against them?
Well, I think we have all of our personnel healthy and on the field. Earlier in the year, we had some guys out, and we had to play a few guys out of position. Since those guys have returned, everyone's in their, I think, best position, and the results have kind of spoken for themselves. So I think just, again, getting people back in the proper positions, we're able to play a style that is conducive to keeping points off the board. So that's the biggest thing, and we did think that we were going to be much improved on defense this year. In the first 2 games, were disappointing, to be very honest, and the kids were disappointed, the coaches were disappointed. But again, once we got everybody in the proper place and using their abilities, it just turned into what we thought we had all along.
I want to talk for a second about that junior class defensively in particular, because that's a class that came in last year, did not have their freshman year to get out on the field, gain that experience. Instead, they come out last year, there were some growing pains, but this year it seems like they've really solidified in a group. All 4 of your linebackers, I believe, are juniors now. You have Caden Tong on the defensive line and A.J. Dudowski, who are juniors. So talk about that class and what they've done and how they've grown from last year.
Yeah, and again, we thought that class was an excellent class when we recruited them, and just had to go through kind of growing pains last year at their first taste of college football. So yeah, it's a good group. They're athletic, they're physical, and again, now finally, after getting a year under their belt, they have a much better understanding of what playing defense in college is all about and what our scheme is. Coach Miller just yesterday noted that watching film from last year's St. Vincent game, which we struggled, he goes, man, we are so much better now than we were last year. So yeah, let's hope that the trend continues. But they're a good group and kind of the backbone of that defense. And if they stay healthy, I expect we'll be tough down the stretch on defense.
You come into the St. Vincent game at the halfway point of the season, 3-2 on the year, certainly right in the thick of things in the PAC right now. Can you reflect a little bit on the first 5 games of the year and where you think the team stands as they head into this second half of the season?
As you mentioned, I think we're right in the heart of the race. I think there's 5 really good teams in the PAC. We've played 2 of them. We're 1-1 now. I don't think anyone's going to come through undefeated in the league. So I think we can control our own destiny. I think we're playing where we want to on defense. Offensively, we've been inconsistent. We've done a nice job of holding on to the ball and not creating or not giving the ball away. We've moved the ball very well. The frustration is we're not putting points on the board as everyone feels we should, and we have to find ways to do it either schematically or just having our guys make plays when it counts.
You mentioned the St. Vincent game last year and a tough loss for the team last season. Has that been a topic of conversation as you move into this week and as kind of trying to prove that you're better than that game last year?
Well, it certainly has with the coaching staff, and the players recognized what a just disappointing loss it was last year. And hey, St. Vincent has some really good football players. Excellent. They have a receiver that's last year I felt was the best receiver in the league, a Division II transfer quarterback. They have speed at all skill positions, offense and defense. So they are 1-3 this year, but they are a dangerous team. But I don't know if we talked about redemption. Mainly it was on defense last year with the Geneva game and this game. So I think the kids do realize that last year was not a great performance, and we're looking to turn that around.
Finally, want to ask you about homecoming. Obviously, you've been here now for 19 years. You've gone through 19 homecomings at Case Western Reserve. What have you seen from the team on these homecoming games? What have you seen from the crowd that makes it such a special day? Does it give the team any extra boost as they head into a game like this?
Well, I think there's excitement on seeing guys that you played with in the past, and for our coaching staff, since we've been together for so long, when guys come back on campus, you want to put on a good performance. And we do look forward to seeing those guys before and after the game. How much it plays into the outcome of the game, I don't know, but certainly it is nice to see all the people you've put in so much time with, gone through some battles in the past, back on campus, and you have pride in the performance that you show, and we want it. It's probably especially prideful when we know that there's going to be more people that we really care about in the stands.
Well, Greg, one of those people coming back will be Dan Whalen, and Dan Whalen's going to be our captain here for the coin toss coming up in a few minutes as Case Western Reserve will be taking on St. Vincent College, a 1 o'clock kickoff from DeSanto Field when we return.
Intercontinental Suites has been transformed into much more than a hotel. It is a center of wellness and tranquility, featuring renovated suites, an expanded fitness center, and pure rooms for guests requiring the most allergen-resistant rooms on the market. C2, our Mediterranean-style restaurant and bar, accentuates the ambiance of relaxation and rejuvenation. Chef Omar Jones has designed a menu full of fresh, locally grown herbs and vegetables, along with a flavorful cuisine inspired by the beneficial Mediterranean diet. Call the Intercontinental today at 216-707-4300 or visit us at hotelsclevelandclinic.com or on Facebook.
The sun has come out, and it is sparkling and putting DeSanto Field in the spotlight today as the Spartans of Case Western Reserve are set to host the Bearcats of St. Vincent. In the bottom of our screen, right there at the midfield spot at the 50, are the 3 Spartan captains for today, and then their honorary captain to their left, wearing the Case hoodie, walking out with them, is Dan Whalen. Whalen, of course, All-American quarterback, record-setting quarterback, all-time leading quarterback in many offensive categories until last week, actually the last 2 weeks, when Drew Saxton has surpassed the great Dan Whalen in all the quarterback offensive efficiency categories here at Case Western Reserve University. So he's out there today as an honorary captain, along with 3 of his, well, I don't want to say teammates because they're not his teammates, but 3 Spartans, brothers in shoulder pads and helmets, as the Spartans are set to flip the coin with St. Vincent College. It's homecoming, and Coach Debelak, Andrew, talked a little bit about it in his interview with John, and he mentioned as a player, you get a little bit amped up when you see guys that either you played with when you were a freshman or a sophomore, and now you're a senior and they're 2 years removed from the program. And do you feel that? You were down on the field today. You're a former player here, graduated in 2017. Do you see that amongst the players today, or did you feel it when you were a player wearing the shoulder pads and homecoming came about and you saw some of the former guys that you used to play with?
Yeah, it's cool. You always want to make your older brothers proud, and you get the guys back on campus and get to see them hang out in pregame, and what really makes this fun is going out, putting on a good performance on the field, and then you really get to hang out afterwards and enjoy and reminisce. So a lot of energy, a lot of family, friends, and former teammates in the stands today, and looking forward to a good one.
Does it translate at all to the game?
Yeah, I mean it's good energy. It'll focus you in. Like I said, you want to put on a good show, and coming off a loss like last week, this is just another added layer of motivation, especially considering this is a St. Vincent team that in their home last year in Pennsylvania, they did beat the Spartans. So
yeah,
a lot of different factors at play here, and expect the Spartans to come out with some good juice and energy at the beginning.
In that game, it was 42-40. Saxton threw for 462 yards in that game. He threw 65 passes, completed 40 of them. I mean, those are just unbelievable numbers, and they lost. So there is a bad taste in the mouth specifically of the defensive players because they gave up 42 points to a St. Vincent team that they really didn't think they should give up 42 points for. And they have played, they being the Spartans defense, very well in this football season. Coach Debs talked a little bit about it And the Spartans will be on defense first as Case Western Reserve gets ready to kick this football off. He talked a little bit about it in that pregame show that this is a defense that really, the junior class, they didn't have a freshman season. Last year as starters, they were forced to start as sophomores because of lack of experience, and they had growing pains. But this is their year. And Andrew, I think as a former defensive player, you can really see that that's really starting to click right now for this Spartan defense. And we're going to get a look at it right here on the opening kickoff. So it's a little pooch kick that is returned and run out of bounds at the 23-yard line, and that's where St. Vincent will start, and they'll be on offense first. St. Vincent comes into this game 1 win, 3 losses. They are 1-1 in conference play. Their only win this year for St. Vincent was against Teal, 24-16. That was the only victory this year for the Bearcats. As you can see, they're dressed in their, we'll call it road whites. Green and yellow are the school colors. At quarterback is Brady Walker, Division II transfer. He's a senior. Brady's thrown for over 629 yards, and they'll hand it off to begin the game, and it won't get much.
And DJ Gray getting the handoff there. He's going to be a tough tackle. 5'10", 205. You can look out there. He's really solidly built, and we've alluded to it throughout. St. Vincent, when you think of them as a team, as a locker room culture, athletes across the board. You'll see it at the wide receiver position in the backfield, and then conversely on the defensive side. So look for Case to really, as I said earlier, put a lid on it and try and limit the big plays.
Well, one of those wide receivers that you were talking about is Molayo Irfin. He wears number 4, and he is split out wide to the left in this offensive set. He's the receiver that Coach Debelak, he's in motion now, actually thinks is maybe the top receiver in the league this year. Handoff again on 2nd and long, and that Spartan defense holds. It's a gain of maybe 3, and running off the field right now for St. Vincent is their left guard, Nate Kloss. Kloss is hopping on his right leg, no pressure on his left leg, so they lose a guard right away. Kloss, a freshman out of Orrington, Maryland, 6'2", 280. 3rd down and 7. St. Vincent in their first offensive possession. It's Irfin in motion. 4 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Walker will throw it near his own sideline, goes up, catches, and it's a caught football. It's a great catch that time for St. Vincent, and going up and getting that football was Ryan Whitman.
I mean, perfect coverage. Great defense. Sat into the lap, turned the head around, and guess what? At the end of the day, Whitman didn't care. Went up, made a great play, and St. Vincent's able to convert on 3rd and long there and get the chains moving. If you think about, all right, how does St. Vincent have success today? It's making plays like that, relying on their athleticism and getting out of the way and letting these guys run.
Not only getting up to catch it, Andrew, but keeping his feet in bounds with, like you said, perfect coverage by the Spartan cornerback. So St. Vincent inside the Case Western Reserve 50-yard line. They'll hand it off again. This time they try the left side, and DJ Gray picks up 2 yards.
Yeah, in Case so far, letting the linebackers run a little bit. I'd say this is probably a traditional Case Western defense. Not necessarily huge on the defensive front. A lot of good athletes. I would say very linebacker-heavy on the defensive scheme. The 3-4 defense that Coach Miller's rolling out there lets these guys get off blocks and go ahead and make plays.
And all 4 of those linebackers are juniors. Those are players that we talked about missed their freshman season due to COVID. Last year was a first year, and there's trouble for Gray in the backfield. Caden Tong was in the backfield about as quick as Gray was when he got the handoff. And give Caden credit. He missed the opening tackle, but kept going.
It's persistence. That's all defense is. It's effort. I don't really care what the scheme is. If you can go out and play aggressive and play with great effort like that, and it really warms my heart seeing a gang tackle like that early in the game. So Spartan's able to get him again. 3rd and long. Looks like 3rd and 12 here, and this is where the athletes come out. I would expect Irfin to probably be the primary read here, and they'll look to get the ball in his hands early.
That was actually Marco Toth. I had identified it as Tong. Toth, a linebacker, was the one that was persistent. So it's 3rd and 12 from the 49. Walker to throw. Near that Spartan sideline, it's positive yards, but out of bounds at the 41, they'll be short of a 1st down.
Yep, and we're in the, we'll call it the Goldilocks zone. Looks like the offense is going to stay out for St. Vincent at least for the time being.
Caleb McElroy on that catch, the Goldilocks zone. Explain that one.
Right in the middle. You don't want to kick it. You don't want to punt it. First drive coming out looking to set the tone against a team that, you know, Case Western coming in with a little better resume. St. Vincent looking to set the tone early.
Brady Walker on 4th and 5 from the 42. Try to hard count snap and get Case to jump. Spartan defensive front did not. So he's just going to stare over at his coach, Adam Smetanka, and they'll call a timeout. So the first timeout of the afternoon, just a couple of minutes into this homecoming game from DeSanto Field. We'll take one too. We'll be back.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
St. Vincent deciding to punt it after talking it over, coming out of that timeout, and it's a great one. Kyle Murray with the punt. It is downed inside the Spartan 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 4, and that's where Drew Saxton will come out, the graduate student quarterback. Technically a senior, but with that COVID year, he gets an extra year, and he has really made hay in that extra year. Over 10,000 yards passing in his career. No one in the history of Case Western Reserve has ever done that. And that's Saxton at quarterback, wearing the long white sleeves today on a partially chilly northeastern Ohio day. Orsino, or Orsini, Antonio Orsini's in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. Straight up the middle with a hole. He grabbed onto his shirt tail that time and kept him from getting more yards. Antonio gets it up to the 10-yard line. Spartans working quickly. Orsini again. You know, Andrew, let's talk about that offensive front on 2nd and 4 as Orsini gets close to a first down. I think he has enough to get it. Josh Blamer at left tackle, 275 senior. Peter Kelly at left guard, 6'4", 285 junior. Jace Merritt at center, 5'10", 250 junior. Tony Thibner, the sophomore at right guard, 6'1", 260. And then Paul Bruno at right tackle, 6'1", 250. He's a senior. Those are some big fellas to run behind. It's a 1st and 10 for the Spartans. It's Saxton with his first quarterback throw. Down the field, wide open, it's Riley Nurk. Nurk breaks a tackle at the 42 and gets up near midfield. If he could have broken that second tackle, he is gone.
Yeah, it was a great play by Drew, and that's a good example of a quarterback looking to run, but not running for the first down. He's running to buy himself time, keeping the eyes downfield. Veteran quarterback play, and able to find the North Rothen native Nurk there for a long gain.
Saxton will keep the offense in rhythm. They will not huddle. 5 wide receivers set. It's an empty backfield. Spartans on the ear love to throw the football. Nearly 300 yards a game. Saxton in trouble. Gonna pitch it deep. Try to get it to Noah Coyne that time. Ball falls out of bounds. Boy, Saxton with some athleticism back there.
You sound surprised.
I am a little.
No, he's good. He's not what I would call a traditional running quarterback.
Right.
We will see him take off, especially in the bootleg game. If there's 6 or 7 yards there, he'll definitely take it. But, I mean, that's really one of the skills that a veteran quarterback develops is having the pocket awareness, being able to dodge guys that are more or less coming from straight behind you and able to extend plays and give your receivers a chance like we saw there.
So as Drew looks over this St. Vincent defense, he looks at 2nd and 10, and he'll throw it deep down the field. Pass caught at the 30 by Dahlem. Ethan's going to run it in, maybe. Has a tackle to break, can't get it. Gets pushed out of bounds inside the 10, but that's a big-time gain.
Well, I'm surprised it took us that long to say Mr. Dahlem's name there. So looks like, if I'm checking my notes correctly, he's caught at least 3 passes in each of the first 5 games this season. And last Saturday, he went 6 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown. So I would say he's definitely been a bright spot on this offense. And, again, Saxon able to avoid a slight pass rush there and really a good play call there from Coach Debs in the offense.
Dahlem, the sophomore from Upper St. Clair. Orsini, the lone back in the backfield. Antonio Orsini's got 3 touchdowns already on the season. See if he gets one here. He'll get the handoff straight up the middle and right into the teeth of that St. Vincent defense. Thomas Hedgepeth, the second, is a defensive end. Dwight Collins, DeSanyo Powell, and Ryan Brown, the 4 down linemen for this St. Vincent defense.
Yeah, I'm looking at this defense. Up front, I'd say upperclassmen heavy. Good amount of seniors and juniors there. And then on the back end, linebackers and DBs, almost entirely sophomores. Very young, very inexperienced on the back end. And if you're Coach Debs and Drew Saxton, you got to be licking your chops looking at these guys out there.
Gage Dusler, now in the football game for the Spartans. He's behind Saxton in the shotgun. Dusler will get the handoff. Left side, inside the 5 to the 2. Touchdown, Gage Dusler. He has been Mr. Touchdown. Doesn't get a lot of carries, but when he does, they are money.
I love that run from Dusler. Nice little jump cut, keeping the feet moving, forward momentum. And, hey, if you're thinking of what does an opening drive for the Spartans offense look like, what's it supposed to look like, it's that right there. Big plays in the passing game, and, oh, yeah, you got a pretty hot running attack coming downhill at you as well.
Gage Dusler, the sophomore from Avon Lake High School. Ben Barney will come in to kick the point after touchdown. For Dusler, that's his 4th touchdown on the season. He's carried the football 26 times, and he scored 4 touchdowns. Barney's kick is up and good, and with 7 minutes and 43 seconds left to play in this opening quarter, Spartans on the board first. They lead 7-0. Andrew and I will be back after this short break.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4 Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Barney's kickoff, again, little floater near that St. Vincent sideline. They definitely do not want to kick it to Molayo Irfan.
Is that obvious? Look at
yes.
that. Two in a row.
Even I can figure that one out.
Yeah, I mean, they know where the playmakers are, and they're making it real easy on the special teams. They're just not going to give Irfan the ball.
So obviously, Andrew, I think this is a mark that you really trust your defense. You're giving good field position on each kickoff. This is the second time that St. Vincent has started across the 30-yard line. Brady Walker at quarterback. He'll have 3 wide receivers in his right-hand hip pocket, but he'll go to the left on a screen. Positive yards up to the 40. That's DJ Gray out of the backfield.
Yep, nice little swing screen. See Tim Pollock, right tackle, getting out there and picking the knees up and moving downfield pretty quickly. So look for St. Vincent to, they're really going to stretch the defense. And when I say stretch it, that's going to be left to right, horizontally across the field. And what I can tell you from personal experience is they're going to go deep, too. They're going to bomb it out there. They're going to let guys like Irfan and Gray really get vertical and test these DBs on the back end.
Ryan Whitman, one of those wide receivers now in the game for St. Vincent. Handoff goes to Gray, coming up and playing defense for the Spartans. And Gray got by Nate Sacalo. Sacalo had him at the 35 and missed the tackle, and that's It's unusual because Nate's a big-time hitter for this defense.
Yeah, we've seen, so, going through a transition from linebacker to safety this year, I'm still personally not used to it. It looks a little strange having him coming flying downhill like that, but you see here on the replay, so much of the run game is maybe being able to make that first guy miss. Defense is usually going to scheme it up and have one guy in the hole that you need to make a play on, and, credit to Gray getting through the first defender and moving the chains.
1st and 10, balls at the 44. Spartans up 7-0 on a Gage Dusler touchdown. Walker to throw, going to throw it deep. Tried to get it to Irfan, and it's just outside his reach at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, good coverage, and there it is. They're going to start stretching it. They're going to run, and then look for Irfan to get out there and extend his legs. And, you hear Coach Debelak talk about Irfan and how talented he is. Kid's only a sophomore. We got 2 more years of watching him grow and develop, so playmaker now and scared to think about what he's going to do over the next 2 years as well.
25 catches on the season in 4 games for Irfan. 182 yards and a constant threat. DJ Gray, the lone back in the backfield. Gray will get the handoff, eludes a tackle, trying to get outside. He will, and he gets over to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, he does not look like a fun guy to tackle. He's a little bigger, a little stockier, like I said, 5'10", 205, and he's got a little shimmy that he can make you look bad in the backfield, as Mr. Cabrera found out right there. So this is, I would say, again, a classic St. Vincent offense. They have these playmakers on the outside. The thing that they struggle with is getting into positive territory, keeping it 3rd and short, 2nd and short, and when they get behind, from a down marker perspective, this is when the swarming case defense can really pin their ears back and get after it.
3rd and 7. Bearcats need to get to the 46 of the Spartans, and that defensive pressure from that front 4 was intense. Also coming in, the linebacker, Marco Toth. I like to talk about those linebackers a lot. Toth, Torres, Trock, and Cabrera, all juniors. And if you look at team leaders in tackles for loss and sacks, and even tackles, Trock leads the team in 37 tackles in the game so far. It's all from that linebacker core.
Yeah, it's a linebacker-driven defense. Again, it's a 3-4 scheme from Coach Miller. They've played it for 10, 15 years at this point, so they know it. And it really lets the linebackers get out there, get off blocks, and make those tackles.
And that's not a good punt. Spartans going to get it at the 30. First time they had their first possession, they were at the 5. So this is much nicer on the eyes. But they took it 95 yards and scored a touchdown. Talking to Coach Debs this week, Andrew, he said the offense has lost a little confidence. That's exactly what he said. And I said, how do you get that back? And he said, I think we need to make big plays. I think we have to hit some big plays. And they had a couple of those. One was to Dahlem in that opening drive. This is Saxton to throw. He's in trouble, and he's going to go down inside his own 25-yard line.
So what they did there, they had Orsini going on a wheel route at the bottom. And what we've seen so far with those big chunk plays that you alluded to, the seams are open right now. So what St. Vincent's been playing on defense so far is a press man, a cover one look. So the corners are going to be in the face of the receivers. They get a Roman free safety over the top, and that's really what you can do is you can put that free safety in a bind. He's got to pick option A, option B, and then it's real easy for Saxton to just kind of sit back there and adjust based on him.
He's done that, too, with patience in that first offensive series. He'll have 5 wide receivers to look at in this set, 2nd and 15 from the 25. Saxton, he'll settle underneath, and settling for a first down and big yardage that time. The nice pass to Michael Wykowski. Boy, Wykowski was wide open.
Wide open. I don't love the defensive call, and it's easy for me to say up here from the booth, but they were bailing like it was an end-of-a-half scenario, and, hey, it was 2nd and 15 or whatever the distance was, but that doesn't mean you just give up a 12-yard uncontested catch with a 7-yard run after. So interesting, but credit to the offense for taking what they're given.
Blocking back, Sean Michael James. Now in the game, just in front of Orsini. Antonio will follow Michael James into the line, and that defense for St. Vincent was ready for it.
Yeah, they look good. They look good against the run, and the unfortunate thing is they haven't looked that good against the pass. But got to be a balanced offense, got to be a balanced attack, and look forward to seeing you to start peeling off some chunk plays here in the third and fourth quarter. It'll come. You just got to stay patient with it.
Peyton Rochak, number 90 for the Bearcats on that tackle. Sophomore from Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Saxton and his Spartans, 2nd and 10. They're at their own 45, up 7-0 early in this football game. Drew over the middle, in and out of the hands of Wykowski.
Yep. It's tough. It's tough when you're sliding down like that, but got to do what you got to do to catch it with your hands. The body catches are tough, and you can almost hear it up here from the booth, hitting him in the chest. So Spartans 3rd and 10 now. They're going to go empty again, and empty against this offense is really, really a pain in the rear end because Saxon's able to really sit back, find the matchup that he wants, and really be able to pick a defense apart.
Saxton will look for time with Blamer, Kelly, Merritt, Thivner, and Bruno blocking for him. Steps up in the pocket. Pass inside the 45-yard line of St. Vincent. It's complete to Wykowski, and he gets the first down.
See, it's that simple. 2 hands, there you go. Love the confidence of Drew Saxon going back to his veteran receiver Wykowski there. Hey, you drop on the play before, guess what? Get your head on a swivel, I'm coming right back to you and leaning on you as a veteran leader of this team.
Ian Kipp will now enter the game, and Alex Fromberg. Both are quarterbacks. Kipp will come in, play quarterback. Fromberg, it looks like, well, I'm not sure who's going to get the snap. Kipp's in the front. I think Kipp's going to get the snap, and Fromberg's now in a tailback spot. He'll go to the right hip of Kipp. Kipp will pitch it to Fromberg. Fromberg with all sorts of trouble on that right side. St. Vincent was not fooled by a couple of quarterbacks coming in to sub Drew Saxton.
Yeah, and I think I'd almost call it their R&D project throughout the year. They know they got
that's a good way of putting it.
They got some big games coming later in the season, so when you go with those multiple QB looks, you're putting it on tape. You're being annoying to your future opponents. You guys got to scheme it. You got to study it and waste time in your prep looking at it. And, they're just testing. They're poking and prodding and see what can potentially work. And you think of Week 11 against Carnegie Mellon coming in here, I would imagine that they'll get it ironed out before then.
I know Kipp is set to play a lot today. Play more, I should say. Saxton back in the game. He's going to throw it. Open at the 25-yard line and moving the chains. That's Riley Nurick.
Man, you start looking at all these records that Saxon's, achieving throughout his career. 10,000 yards, that's almost hard to fathom that. It's because of throws like this. Set your feet, drive the ball, comeback route. Beautiful. He's been doing it for what seems like a decade at this point, but I mean, it's a testament to the hard work that he's put in, and it doesn't get old sitting here watching him make throws like that.
That first down marker's now at the 25. We're approaching inside 2 minutes left in this opening quarter. Saxton's 10,055 career passing yards are the most among active NCAA Division III quarterbacks. And it ranks 8th among NCAA quarterbacks in all 3 divisions. And that's a touchdown! No, incomplete.
Great play.
Nurick laid it out. I think he had it for a moment.
Yeah, he got a little help. Got a little help from the ground. Great throw from Saxton. Great adjustment. People don't understand how tough it is to go over the shoulder like that. You're going to see 2 hands on it, getting a little bounce off the turf. Right there.
Just a little help.
Great play, though.
Wow. Riley Nurick has become a favorite of Drew Saxton.
Yeah, they got a good connection. He's shown the ability to run most of the route tree and making plays like that, even though it's incomplete. Again, showing the ability to adjust midair like that. That was as good as an incompletion can look.
Isaiah Arrington, now in the football game for Case Western Reserve. He's split out wide to the left. 2nd and 10 from the 25. So Orsini in the backfield with his quarterback. Saxton going to throw, looking to throw. He's in trouble, steps up, and he'll throw this one out of bounds. And there's a penalty flag on that sideline, and it's a hold on St. Vincent. No, they're going to say, oh, okay. He pointed Spartan way. He tricked me, but then he corrected himself. So it's a hold on the cornerback on that far sideline, and I think it's against Marvell Cromartie.
Yeah, when you get into the scramble drill, it's a nightmare.
Holding. Number 8, defense. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Cromartie, the sophomore out of McKeesport, Pennsylvania.
And that's the value of having a quarterback that can keep plays alive. It puts a lot of stress on the defensive backs. to have to cover for 5, 6, 7 seconds like that, eventually you don't really know where anything's going, and you end up committing a penalty like that. So credit to Saxon for keeping it alive. A lot of credit to Coyne for moving and forcing the penalty there as well.
Dahlem and Arrington split out wide to the left. Spartans now at the 15 of the Bearcats. Orsini will get it straight up the middle. Works out to the left and gets down to the 10-yard line.
And if I'm looking, original line of scrimmage on that play, there wasn't one lineman that ended the play within 3 yards of that original line of scrimmage. They're moving people, double teams climbing up to the linebackers, and that's a great sign for this offense going forward.
Dominic Wade has now entered the football game for the Spartans. He'll be a blocking back. 2nd and 5 from the 10. Spartans trying to get their second touchdown of this opening quarter. Orsini over the middle and down inside the 5.
They're moving.
Boy,
balanced
good vision.
offense. Yeah, he's good. I haven't said it yet, but it usually takes more than one guy to get Mr. Orsini on the ground. And, the offense moving through the field, it's going to be pass attack heavy. And then I would say traditional Coach Deb's approach is once you get inside the 10, it's pound the rock time. It's lean on the big guys up front. They're bringing in H-backs, bringing in fullbacks, and letting Orsini go to work.
Jake Grons now in the game, lining up at tight end on the left side in this offensive set. Orsini's going to run it, and Orsini's in for a touchdown. Spartans have scored again.
And there you go. 2 drives, 2 scores. That's exactly what this offense needed. We talk about how do they get back on track? How do they start building this confidence? I'd say it's more or less a perfect opponent for them, and at the end of the day, you need to go out and execute. We saw them put up 40 points against this team last year, and they're well on their way again this year with that balanced attack. See the replay here. Just stick it in his belly. Let him go to work. 1, 2, say 3 guys took to get him down. He's able to find his way into the end zone.
And credit guys like Jake Grons, who came in as a wide receiver and lined up at tight end, blocking for that touchdown. Ben Barney's point after touchdown is good, and it's 14-0. Spartans over the Bearcats. We're about ready to wrap up this first quarter. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the second quarter from a sun-splashed DeSanto Field after this.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
So in a game a year ago that saw 82 points scored and nearly 900 yards in total offense between these two teams, in the first 12 minutes of this football game, the 2022 version, it has been completely one-sided in favor of the Spartans. Another pop-up kick, fielded by a tight end inside the 30 and brought down right away.
I love it. It's execution. Pop it up. Irfan is not going to get a chance to return that football. He's going to have to do it on offense, and it's time for the Spartan defense to go back out and keep doing what they're doing. I think the key so far has been 3rd and long. It's really hard to get into different levels of your playbook when you know you need 8-9 yards on 3rd down like that.
You know, looking as we head to the second 15 minutes, the end of the first quarter with the Spartans up 14-0, looking, you mentioned the defense, and you look back to a year ago, and you know what I mean, things stay in people's minds, especially when you're a competitor, you're an athlete, and if you got punched in the face, you don't want to get punched in the face again. And this Spartan defense, Andrew, really felt like they got smoked last year, that they just got punched in the face. And Coach Deb said that they are very much looking forward to playing the team, and I quote him here, says, that kicked our butts. He said it was tough to take. So defensively, you're seeing that today with a little bit of an edge, a little bit of an attitude as we're heading into the second quarter here. And the first quarter stats on cue have been given to us. And Andrew, why don't you take a look at that defense and tell me what they've done?
Yeah, so looking at St. Vincent, I mean, they have Oh, look at the yardage. 36 yards passing. Total offense, they're only at 45 yards, on pace for keeping them under 200 yards total for the game. So defense is doing what they want to do and what they know they can do this season.
Spartans setting up. And the pass is complete, but immediately to the ground for St. Vincent and picking up maybe a yard that time.
Yeah, and looking at this offense, similar to the St. Vincent defense, I said they got a lot of sophomores out there. I'd love to know what happened or if they feel great about this recruiting class for some reason, one reason or another. But same thing with the skill positions on offense, almost all sophomores. So this group's going to be together the rest of this season. Then in theory, you have 2 more to continue to grow. So I don't know, if you're looking to invest, maybe 2 years down the road, St. Vincent might look like a totally different football team.
Yeah, the only senior is the quarterback as Walker hands it off to DJ Gray. And DJ Gray gets stuffed behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep, if you're looking to move the ball in the Spartan defense, blocking Mr. Tong, number 10, that's probably going to be your best bet. When he goes unblocked or he's able to get through the first one-on-one matchup there, he's going to wreak havoc in that backfield. So big play by him, big TFL, and again, we're stuck in 3rd and 11 here, and there's just not a lot of plays you can call against this defense that's going to get that done.
He's got 8.5 tackles for a loss, Tong does, and that leads this football team. It's 3rd down and 11 from the 29. Marco Toth from his linebacker spot lining up at right defensive end. He's coming on a blitz. And there's trouble in the backfield.
Great play. Great play.
Dudowski.
Well, the reason I'm laughing is that the D lineman there fell down. Not sure if he was blocked or just tripped, and he stood up and the quarterback was standing right in his face.
R.J. Ayers.
R.J. Ayers, that might be the easiest sack he gets, and you know what? It still goes in the book as a sack. Nobody needs to know how hard or easy. And looking on the replay here, Ayers is going to get cut blocked there. He's going to stand up, and there's a Christmas present standing right in front of him.
Spartan's going to get it back. They're going to get it in great field position.
Go get it. Go block it.
Send them all. It was almost blocked. Boy, getting in there that time and almost really blocking it was the cornerback, Cullen Schuster. Punts in favor of St. Vincent with the roll, and Case Western will start out at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, and this is where, for better or worse, Coach Debs really likes to put his foot on the pedal in these situations, and so they're up 14-0 now. We've talked about the loss last year plenty at this point. I would love to see the stats on how many teams have beaten Coach Debelak 2 years in a row. Outside of Carnegie Mellon, I can't imagine that it's many teams at all. He is highly motivated for this game. He may not say it, I'll say it for him. That was a very disappointing, embarrassing loss last year. They feel totally different this year. They're coming in, they're looking to not only get a win, but do it in an impressive fashion, and they're well on their way.
This is Kip, the sophomore from Mentor, now at quarterback, heading off to the senior Orsini. Ian Kipp, 6'2", 210, sophomore, can run it and he can pass it. 150 yards running this year, or passing this year, 129 yards rushing the football. He's got 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 on the ground. I know the Spartan offensive coaching staff really excited about this young man. Little screen set up nicely.
Oh, just your traditional play where you have your second-string quarterback throwing to your third-string quarterback out on the perimeter. So, again, they're poking and prodding. They're seeing what they can do, what works. You got 3 quarterbacks, a sophomore, junior, and a senior, and I'd venture to say any 3 of these guys could play on any of the teams in the PAC. I think they would start on any of these teams. I think everyone would have confidence in them playing, and Coach Debs knows they're all playmakers and does what he does to get them the ball.
You know, I asked him at the beginning of this year when we were talking about his approach to this season. He said, Ron, I'm going to play 3 quarterbacks. And I said, is that typical? As Orsini's up for positive yards, he needed 2, he got 6, and that'll be a first down. I said, is that something that you've done in the past? And knowing the answer that he hadn't, but I asked it anyways, and he goes, no. And I said, well, why are you doing it now? And he goes, he paused for a second, and then he goes, because those 3 guys deserve to be on the field. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, sometimes it's that simple. Sometimes you just look at who are your best players, put them out there, and let them go. And we got this offset pistol look again where you got one quarterback taking the snap and the other quarterback behind him. At some point, a double pass is coming. It might not be this week, but at some point this season, they'll bring that out.
This is Kip, and he'll keep it himself. And Kipp across the 50, and he's going to pick up 8 yards all the way down to the 45.
I can't imagine there's many programs that have a 10,000-yard passer that are going to put him on ice here for what looks like an entire drive and go with the second and third string. So
good point.
It's a great quarterback room. It's a testament to Coach Debelak and Coach Slesh being able to keep these guys all in check, know that it's a team game, a team purpose, and they're able to go out there with the sole goal of moving the football and putting the ball in the end zone.
Orsini back in at tailback for Case Western Reserve. Kipp will throw it to Fromberg. Fromberg makes a defender miss, and he'll pick up another first down. Alex Fromberg, the junior out of Bridgewater, New Jersey. He can throw it, and he can run it.
He can play. So,
Yep.
you know, Kipp is new to the program this year, transferred in from Kent State, local kid out of Mentor. I remember talking to coaches last year saying, hey, if Drew ever goes down, Fromberg is more than capable, both with his legs and also through the air. So then they add in Kipp this year. They go from 2 great quarterbacks to 3, and it results in the offense that we're seeing right now.
Spartans with the ball inside the 40. Kipp looking over the middle, still looking over the middle, and it's caught, and it's a beautiful pass all the way down to the 10-yard line. That's Michael Wykowski. Boy, that's a nice little line on a pass there.
Nice throw. Went sidearm, able to fit it into a tight window. Credit to the offensive line, giving him time to work through the progressions as well.
Kipp's going to keep it at the 5. Tried to hurdle the defender. He tried to get up and over Ethan Facey that time and almost did it.
Great play. I hate seeing your quarterback hurdle. You can hear everyone gasp in the crowd. They're too valuable. Put your head down, get the 2 yards, but hey, he's an athlete. Look at that. You got the ankle biters coming in, trying to chop him down, and Kipp's showing us back-to-back plays there. He can run it, he can throw it. He's an athlete, he's a playmaker for him.
Well, back in is that blocking wide receiver, Grons, lined up left side. Let's see if Orsini takes it that way. Antonio Orsini's in for his second touchdown of the day. Well, that one was easy.
Easy. The confidence is growing. This is the visual representation of momentum and confidence. Spartans coming out, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they're excited. It's fun to look down, knowing how many people are here homecoming weekend, see the energy coming off the sideline, and they're full steam ahead. They're not going to stop anytime soon.
Joseph Rhodes in to kick the point after touchdown, and it is up and it is good. And with 9 minutes and 3 seconds left to play in the opening half, on homecoming weekend at Case Western Reserve, it is all Spartans. 21-0. We'll be back.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4 Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Rhodes ready to kick it off here at DeSanto Field. 9 minutes left to play in this opening half. That's the first legit kickoff of the afternoon for the Spartans. And that's returned by Wayne Corbin of St. Vincent up to the 24-yard line.
They look good. This is what you call 3-phase football. Offense, defense, special teams. 21-0. Spartans are going to get the ball to start the second half, so they have that on their side, but there's still 9 minutes left here in the first half. This defense is going to clamp it down. You can see the confidence not only from the offense, but also Coach Miller in this defense. Now 3 straight drives, they've really shut down the St. Vincent offense. Opening drive was probably their best. It still ended up with a punt. This is the point in the game where you can really knock down the confidence of your opposition and look for those linebackers to continue to swarm and do exactly that.
And on that opening drive, they faced St. Vincent, a 3rd and long, and Ryan Whitman made a huge catch. Trouble with the snap, and it almost turned into a positive play. Boy, credit to Brady Walker for sticking with that. Didn't panic, just picked the ball up, still looked for his open receiver.
Yep, live to fight another day. But yeah, you could see it. This defense is, we'll say, playing downhill now. They are absolutely in attack mode. They are the aggressor between the two teams right now, and I'm a little surprised that Irfan hasn't motioned into the backfield, done a jet sweep, quick screen, something. You got a playmaker like that, you got to find a way to get the ball in his hands. Doesn't really matter how you do it.
Well, the only back in the backfield right now is DJ Gray. Gray's going to block. They'll set up a screen for Gray. Gray catches it at the 20, and he's up to the 30-yard line. He needed 10. He's going to pick up 7. It'll set up 3rd and 3.
Good tackle there by Gabe Trock, able to make a solid open field tackle on Gray, who's shown some elusiveness. But that's what it's going to take from St. Vincent. It's going to take misdirection. It's going to take screen game, quick game like that, because this D-line is starting to win the one-on-one battles, and they're getting that confidence that we were talking about.
Spartans coming up defensively like they were set to blitz. Ryan Cabrera from his outside linebacker spot.
And Coach Miller was a little upset. They showed it too early. They blew it, but they're still going to bring the heat.
Quick out, pass complete, ball at the 40, and St. Vincent has a first down.
Yeah, it's a good play.
Dell
and they needed that. They were starving for a first down there. So Coach Miller dials it up, sends a blitz. Quarterback's able to stick in there. Good throw by Walker and stay calm under pressure and find a way to get the first down. I mean, if they don't get that first down, then it's really looking dire for the Bearcats today. So move the chains. They got to string them together. You're down 3 scores. Can't get them all back at once. It's going to take one at a time.
Not many first downs on the afternoon for St. Vincent. Walker's going to carry it. Left side, DJ Walker, the sophomore from Beechwood High School, former Bison.
Local guy. Look at that. And there's another first down. So total in the first quarter, St. Vincent had 2 first downs. Now in 2 plays, they got 2 first downs. And like I keep saying, you got to string it together. You got to stay calm and realize, hey, we can't do anything unless we get points on this drive, and continue to go to Gray and see if he can start moving some people.
They're playing with tempo right now, going with that no huddle. Walker with the fake over the middle, wide open, cutting across the field is Irfan. And Irfan, 3 plays, 3 first downs.
There he is.
Chains again.
There he is. There's a little underneath route and let him run. You can see the explosiveness. He does not look fun to tackle in space. Quick little play action. Nice read. Offensive line's able to hold up on that one, and Walker's finally able to find his guy Irfan open in space like that.
So, Andrew, is the tempo being used here to not allow substitutions for Case Western, or what's the secret to this current drive?
Well, what they've figured out so far is that if they just line up and try and bully Case Western, it's not going to work. They need to use tempo to their advantage. Able to tackle them inbounds there, but it's just another way to keep the defense uncomfortable. Again, it looks so far that if they try and play the Spartans straight up, it's just not going to go their way. So got to go tempo, misdirection, anything that you can do to keep the defense on their heels.
Whitman's catch will garner only 2 yards. It's 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and that was a good play by Walker there. So when you have a guy running free at the quarterback, typically what the coaches will coach is don't jump. Run at him with your arms up, because as soon as you jump, you're in the air. You can't change direction. The quarterback's able to pump fake and make a good play like Walker did there.
DJ Gray on the left hip of Walker. 2nd and 8 from the 27. Gray's going to run it. And he's going to hit hard at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you from the Spartans defense. No idea who the leading tackler is today. It's been a total team effort. There you see DJ Wolf coming up from the secondary position. I think each of the linebackers has got to have 2 tackles
pick a
each.
linebacker,
Yeah,
I would say.
Pick a linebacker. You get the safeties coming downhill, and that's a credit to the corners being able to hold up. The safeties have the confidence. Hey, I can start sniffing around in the run game and helping out on that front.
You got to believe this is 2-down territory for St. Vincent. It's a 3rd and 6, but I would be stunned if they don't get the first down, that they don't go for it at 4th, down 21-0.
And they'll take a timeout to think about it. One thing I've seen today for a couple plays, they've gone quads. They've gone 4 wide receivers to one side and Coach Miller's responded by basically bringing the house and putting the pressure on there. So came out an empty 3-by-2 look. We'll see if they come out of the timeout with the same approach.
It's homecoming weekend here at DeSanto Field. I was pleased to be over at Mather Field this morning. Mather Park, the home of the softball team, as the women were honored today. It was their annual fall alumni game, but before the game, we got a chance to honor the women over at Mather Field from their University Athletic Association championship season last spring when they went 30-12 overall. They were 16-3 in the UAA, and it was their first outright title in softball since 1999. Josie Henry's doing a great job with that softball program, and I got to tell you, Andrew, it was real neat being over there at 10 o'clock this morning. They had all the alum in, they had the current players in, they had President Kaler was there, his wife. They were presented with their championship rings. Really building something there in that softball program.
Yep, we love it. We want to keep hanging banners, putting yours on the walls, and anytime you win a conference title, it's good for the whole university to see.
They won the Cleveland Regional too. The NCAA Cleveland Regional, they got to host it. They won it. Little screen over the middle. It was a pass just a little bit too long. It was set up for a touchdown.
We're going to have illegal man downfield.
Yeah, that line was way down the field.
So with the screen pass, you can go downfield. The running back has to catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage, though. So that's a play you definitely have to practice. Everyone needs to know their responsibilities. Running back was not in the backfield, and that should hopefully result in
the line was in front of him. The line was 8 yards down the field. That's why I said it was set up for a touchdown, because they had 4 offensive linemen down the field.
Yep.
There's no flag for ineligibles downfield. The ball was released before they reached out that far.
Well,
I appreciate Tony's optimism on that call, but looks like 4th down, as you said earlier, 2-down territory here. Look at the warm-ups, didn't necessarily look like they had a great place-kicking operation. So down 21-0, got to go for it, got to find a way to get this first down.
Tony Lascola, the referee, Andrew was referring to. You called him by his first name like he was a buddy. When you were a defensive back here, did you get to know Tony?
I met him in pregame. Had a great 10-minute conversation.
4th down. St. Vincent to the end zone to a wide open Efren, and that's a touchdown.
There it is.
No one was around Efren.
No, unsure. We'll have to, if we get a replay. I don't know if it was a coverage bust or if he just was able to run away from the defense. Looked like he was just able to run away. I mean, that's exactly what you need if you're St. Vincent. 4th and medium there, down 3 scores, and there's that deep vertical passing game. I'm telling you, every single year they have a wide receiver like Irfan, who is just a nightmare to cover. He's a coverage buster. You can't leave him one-on-one or stuff like that happens.
Point after touchdown's good. And with 4:41 left to play in the half, St. Vincent's on the board for the first time. It's 21-7, Case Western Reserve. We'll be back after this timeout.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Ron Yance, Andrew Rossman with you this afternoon from DeSanto Field as the Spartans take on the Bearcats on homecoming weekend here at Case Western Reserve University. Andrew, that offensive series for St. Vincent was completely different than their first 3.
Yeah, so that's a huge confidence builder. Now they have it on paper. They have a good data point. Hey, we can move the ball against this defense. And it's a cat and mouse game because Coach Miller will go back and he'll be able to see, all right, where do we screw up on that drive? What do we need to adjust? And he's very good at in-game adjustments. Point being, St. Vincent showed they could score. They could score rather quickly, and Case Western's going to have to come out and move the ball on them again.
This is Dusler caught it at the 15. He's already up to the 35, and he's upended there. Nice return for that Spartan sophomore.
And back to work. It's been easy breezy sailing today so far for the Spartans offense. We've seen 3 quarterbacks. We've seen I don't even know how many wide receivers. Strong rushing attack, also doing it through the air like we know they're going to do. So it seems like each drive they've almost picked a receiver. We had the Wykowski drive, the Nurek drive, the 2 quarterback drive. We'll see who they come out with for this approach. And again, Spartans get the ball to start the second half. Looking to wind the clock, get into the end zone, get into halftime with a 3-score lead.
Dusler now the back in the backfield. Throw a little pass out to him with blockers in front. Gage over the 40 to the 50. Stiff arm at the 40, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 39. That's a real nice play.
Great play. Great play. Into the boundary, breaking a tendency there. Just a little flare screen to the running back Dusler, who's already got a score on the ground today, and able to slip through. He did have a D lineman or a linebacker come in, almost able to grab the heels, and he's able to shimmy his way through there and turns it into a big chunk play. It's like a double face mask there. Both could have gotten, but we'll let the boys play. Spartans already in positive territory.
A flag before the snap. It's a motion penalty on Case Western Reserve, so they'll back the Spartans up 5. Penalties was another topic of conversation for Coach Debelak and I this week. He's still confused as to why his team has so many penalties, because they work so hard at being efficient, but he said, we're just not doing a good job, Ron, of doing that. He says, penalty yards wise, we're not that bad, but number of penalties, we really have put ourselves in some holes.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic. Typically we get our fact sheet before the game. It shows the conference and NCAA ranks for a number of different categories, and seems like every year for the past decade the Spartans have been top 10 in the nation in penalties per game. So not able to pin down, why that may be happening. It's a ton of factors. It's effort, it's talent, it's coaching. That's really what drives penalties, and just hasn't been the cleanest year so far for them, but they'll get it going the right direction.
This is Wykowski with the pass. He's going to pick up the first down, and Noah Coyne actually caught that pass, not Wykowski.
Yeah, Wykowski and Coyne look very similar.
Body type, I didn't even look at the number. I just looked at body type.
It's right. The same. They both got black cleats. They're both 6'2" or up, long striders, and they do look shockingly similar out there.
Noah Coyne, the sophomore out of Notre Dame Cathedral Latin. Grew up in Painesville. Five seconds on the play clock for Saxton. We'll hand it off to Dusler, and Gage gets inside the 25-yard line.
Had it.
And fell at the 25.
Had a big hole there. Credit to the D lineman, able to nip his ankle and get him down. So the start of the drive, I mentioned, it was about 4.5 minutes. Offenses will typically have, when you think end of period offensive approach, you'll have a 2-minute drive. We all know that. Typically when you're down, 2-minute drive, got to go with tempo. Also have a 4-minute drive. That's typically when you're trying to run the clock out, basically score with 0 seconds left as the goal, and they're doing a great job of that. Now they have to get the ultimate payoff and find the end zone, but executed perfectly so far.
Saxton with 4 receivers in this set, looking over the middle. Good defense. Drew's just going to throw it out of bounds.
It's good. Better in play. Better in play. 3rd and medium. This will probably be 2-down territory for the Spartans, knowing that they're going to get the ball to start the second half. Throw it away, live to see another day. I'm actually surprised. It was pretty good coverage by St. Vincent on the back end. They did bring a blitz there, able to move the platform for Saxton, and good combo of blitz plus good coverage on the back end.
So they'll look at it again from the 25. It's 3rd and 5. Dusler now at the left hip of his quarterback. Saxton over the middle. Pass caught, and it's a first down. That's Riley Nurek.
And that was a pre-snap read. So they had trips to the left. There was nobody over Nurek. They had one guy that was going to try and 2 guys in the slot, and Saxton was able to look over there and say, thank you very much, I'll take that, move the chains.
Dahlem and Nurek along the right side with Coyne. Dusler will get the handoff, and Gage is up to the 10-yard line.
I like his running style. There's jump cuts, it's shifty, he's always moving forward. You see some guys that'll move laterally while they're trying to read. He reads while he's gaining yards, and it results in 1st and 5 rushes like that, and able to set the Spartans offense up in easy 2nd and medium.
It's his drive. Orsini has not seen the field in this drive, just like last drive was Kip's drive, as Saxton stayed on the bench. And as you mentioned, it's kind of neat to have a 10,000-yard passer on the bench during a drive, or unique, specialty of the offensive skill set. And I'd say the same about Dusler and Orsini.
Yeah, Antonio's been great coming in, transferred in last year, and was really one of the stars of the offense last year. It's continued this year. It makes Coach Deb and Coach Flesh's jobs really easy when you got weapons not only in the backfield, on the outside, and you got Mr. Veteran under center for the team as well.
So there's a timeout on the field. We're inside a minute. We'll keep it right here at the Santo Field as both teams huddle up to look into that Spartan huddle. If the Spartans can put 7 on the board here at the end of this half, Andrew, you mentioned it, they'll get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. It's a 14-point swing if they could score on both ends of it.
Yep, and that's the goal when you win the coin toss and you're able to defer like that. This is the exact scenario that you have in mind. Almost get a double dip here at the end of the first half, and like I mentioned, they had that 4-minute drive coming in, 4-minute drive approach, 45 seconds. They have 2 timeouts left. Whole playbook is wide open. They will focus on the touchdown. They will take that even if it only takes an extra 5 seconds off the clock. Ideally, you run it and you're able to burn off more clock here, but again, points is the focus and points is the expectation down here.
Well, their 3 touchdowns have come on the ground, all 3 of them rushing touchdowns. Orsini has 2, Dusler with 1. It's Gage now in the backfield for the Spartans, and they're at the 4-yard line. He'll get the handoff. And Gage Dusler is in for a touchdown.
Beautifully blocked. Beautifully blocked. We're going to give a shout out to the boys up front as that drive was so run heavy. Left tackle Blamer, Pete Kelly, Jace Merritt, Tony Thievener, and then Bruno as well. So credit to the offensive line. Dusler ran through there. Ron, I think you could have scored a touchdown on that run. And that's a credit to the scheme and also the execution of the guys up front.
Well, thank you for the confidence.
Hey, I got full faith in you to go out there and execute, Ron. Part of the team.
My partner, Andrew Rossman, back at his alma mater on homecoming. Rhodes' point after touchdown's up and it's good. And it's all Case Western Reserve. 42 seconds left in the half. We're going to go into a timeout with the Spartans rolling. It's 28-7.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Let's take a second as the Spartans will kick off to St. Vincent to take a look at the pack standings right now as we head into this beautiful October weekend. A pooch kick that the Bearcats will have at the 34-yard line. Right now, Carnegie Mellon's at the top of the league. They're ranked 18th in the country, 5-0 overall. But then you've got Grove City, Washington and Jefferson, and Case Western Reserve all at 2-1. Spartans have already played W&J, knocked them off. Lost to Grove City last week in a tight game that they feel they really gave away. And then that Carnegie Mellon game's out there. And it's out there at the end of the season. And it's coming right here to Santo Field at November 12th. But, you know, I don't want to look ahead, even though I am. Still games to play, but that opportunity could happen.
It's right there. And Carnegie Mellon is strong this year. They're really good. They brought back a lot of guys from a really high-performing team last year. It's interesting to see the PAC evolve the last couple years. I would say traditionally this was a 2-team league. Now those 2 teams would change. It would be a different setup each year. But now when you look across the league, it's 4 or 5 teams. They can beat anybody on any given day. So really been, like I said, an evolution of the league, and it's good to see from a depth perspective.
Gonna go back to Jeffrey Downs, 2 plays in a row to that sophomore wide receiver. Game clock's at 15.8 seconds in the first half. Yeah, Coach Debs was saying he really believes the conference winner this year is going to have at least 1 loss.
I believe it. I believe it. Hopefully that's Case coming out of it with him beating Carnegie in the last week, but a lot of ball left between now and then.
Downs again, 3-second play.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. They're going with their traditional. The offense looks like they don't have any timeouts left. They do have, well, maybe the scoreboard's wrong because I swear they've taken a timeout. I know they have. And that would probably explain it. But going sideline heavy. Again, they don't have a strong kicking game. This is probably end zone or bust unless they can really get down inside the 20 here in the next 12 seconds.
Irfin going deep, but that pressure by that Spartan defensive front. You know, Irfin was going deep, and he was starting to break away, but there was absolutely no chance that Brady Walker was going to have any time to get that pass off.
Yep, and we're going to add intentional grounding here.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody within, I don't know, 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, and that may be the end of the half because you're going to take a 10-second runoff unless they have any timeouts left.
Well, Coach Debs is standing in midfield, and he's rotating his right shoulder over and back, saying exactly what you just said, Andrew. That's it. Let's wrap up this half.
The foul also requires a 10-second runoff. However, St. Vincent's taking their timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff.
Yep, so they'll burn a timeout. They got just under 8 seconds left here. Pretty much one more play.
Got it at the 45, and they've got in their hip pocket a young man that can make a play with 7.8 seconds left, and that's Molayo Irfin, that wideout. But, you know, the counterattack to that is getting pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, unless they put him at quarterback, you're going to have to block. You're going to have to give your quarterback time to find Irfin. He's out there. He's lurking. He saw a 20, 30-yard touchdown pass earlier to him when there wasn't a single Spartan defender within 10 yards. That's a credit to his speed and the scheme getting him open like that. But like you said, the one thing that'll neutralize that, good defensive line play, good coverage from the linebackers, and so far Case has been able to perform that today.
Dominic Size, Colin Schuster will be those corners on this play. Nathan Sicalo and DJ Wolf, strong and free safeties. But those guys up front in that linebacking core really going to try to put pressure on Brady Walker. 7.8 seconds left in the half. Spartans up 28-7. Here we go. Walker with pressure. That was Toth that got in there, and he just chucks it out of bounds with 2.5 seconds left.
Yeah,
Marco Toth, Caden Tong, and boy, you name them, they're in there.
The right side of the St. Vincent line is getting abused, worked, blown by, whatever you want to call it. Tong has been in. If he's able to break down, he's got an easy sack on that play and take us into the half. But that defensive front for Case is really starting to penetrate. And good news, or easy news for Coach Miller, is he hasn't really needed to send a lot of blitzes to get it done. So Tong's been able to win those one-on-one matchups and wreak havoc in the backfield.
Last play of the half that has been well played by the Spartans. It's Irfin, gonna look for running room, and he won't find it.
No, got punished for it too. So there you go, good half. That's called building confidence in the offense, and 3 phases, top to bottom, offense, defense, special teams. Really strong start to the game for the Spartans.
See the Spartans as they run off here at DeSanto Field at halftime. The marching band's coming out. It's homecoming weekend, festivities at halftime. It's a beautiful day in many ways. And one of those ways, the score right now at the break. It's Case Western Reserve 28, St. Vincent 7. Got a lot planned for you here at halftime. We won't miss anything that happens on the field, so stay tuned. Andrew and I will be back.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
First, the fastest runners in today's homecoming 5K run. With a time of 17:37 for the men is Alexander Eberly. And for the women, with a time of 20:25 is Julie Peterson. Next are the winners of the homecoming spirit competition from the Spartan Tailgate. We'd like to thank all the groups that participated this year. We have the winner in the category of design and creativity, CWRU Habitat for Humanity. The winner in the category of most interactive, Case Amateur Radio Club. And the winner in the category of originality and spirit, Residence Hall Association. And now for the announcement of the homecoming court. Paola Jamatei, Ingrid Gillies, Grayson Holtz, Mariah Hamburg, Brandy Marks, Prashant Raghunathan, Emily Ristevsky, Jada Robertson, Cameron Tong, and Jerry Uquela. And fans, to crown your 2022 homecoming royalty, please welcome to the field the president of Case Western Reserve University, Eric Kaler, and Lou Stark, vice president for student affairs. And now your 2022 homecoming court winners, Grayson Holtz, Paola Jamatei, and Jerry Uquela. And fans, let's hear it one more time for the homecoming court and for our winners. Ladies and gentlemen, the Spartan Dance Team.
And welcome back to DeSanto Field. We're about 2 minutes away from the kickoff of the second half, a first half dominated by the Spartans of Case Western Reserve on homecoming weekend. And they needed a good start. They needed offensively to feel good about themselves, and they certainly have done that. And the defense has not disappointed.
Yeah, looking at the stats, 28-7 on the scoreboard. Case, 292 yards of total offense. St. Vincent, 150. Really been a clean game. No turnovers. Penalty-wise, Case 1 penalty for 5 yards. St. Vincent 2 for 22. Time of possession fairly equal. Case 16 minutes. St. Vincent just under 14. But look at that total yardage, and that's really been the story so far. Case defense has been able to clamp down, not allowed the playmakers on the St. Vincent offense to get going, and then on the other side, we alluded to it, it seems like every drive there's been a new star for the offense to emerge. Saxon spreading the wealth across all his wide receivers. We got the backup quarterbacks running wild out there, catching passes, making runs, and it's really been top to bottom, all three phases, offense, defense, special teams, and looking for that to continue here in the second half of this beautiful afternoon.
You know, if you really break it down, Andrew, a lot of those total yards on the St. Vincent offensive numbers, the 156, at least half of those came on the one drive, the touchdown drive.
Yeah, they were able to put it together. They were able to get the ball into Irfan's hands, resulted in a 20, 30-yard touchdown pass on fourth down there. And, yeah, if you take out that one drive, it's really looking dire for the Bearcats. But, again, that was huge for them. They showed that they do have the ability to move the ball here this afternoon. And, you know, they're unfortunately not going to get a chance to show it here at the start. Spartans are going to receive the second half kickoff and look to extend the lead. Again, 28-7, 21-point lead. Exactly what Coach Deblack wanted to see today, and all credit to that offense going out and executing.
You had said earlier in the game when the Spartans were obviously starting to take control of it that you highly doubt that there are many situations where Coach Deblack has lost in back-to-back seasons from to the same team. And, this is a situation today where he definitely did not want to lose today, losing a year ago 42-40. So coming out with a 28-7 lead, getting the football first, obviously they're going to go down and try to score and make it 35-7. But how much do you think he keeps the foot on the pedal this afternoon in the second half?
I think his thought is, how do I get this offense in shape and confident enough to really build momentum out of the second half of this season that they have going on right now. And that starts with this half here. You're not going to see any let up. You're not going to see any difference in the offense here for the first couple drives. Maybe in the fourth quarter, then you start seeing the backup quarterbacks come in, start running the ball a little more. But I mean, there's a full half of football left. They're only up 21, and he's going to still be going full speed ahead here to start.
And even if you do see those backup quarterbacks, those are quarterbacks that are in the regular rotation anyways.
Yeah, we should probably call them the other quarterbacks.
The other quarterback, yeah.
I mean, they are
plural.
Backup is a very loose term with these guys, with Kip and with Fromberg out there. We've seen them come in, and I mean, it's a nightmare to try and defend. And again, you're putting it on tape. You're showing the rest of the league that, hey, we got a 10,000-yard passer. We also got two horses behind him that can come in and move the ball effectively. So look for that to continue. They're going to continue to throw everything at the Bearcat defense and look to extend this 21-point lead.
Spartans are ready to go. They're going to get this second half kickoff. They're on the field and anxiously awaiting it. Justin Amy will kick it off for St. Vincent. And it's a surprise onside kick. Fielded cleanly.
There we go.
Almost anticipating it was Jake Summers, a linebacker.
There we go. That'll get the blood going a little bit.
I saw that exact onside kick last night in a high school football game that I did. It was the same setup. The kicker and the kickoff team was all kind of huddled around each other like they were talking, just talking, and then suddenly he turned around and kicked it.
Yep, all credit to Jake Summers there. You get a gold star for the day, because that would have really put a sour taste in everyone's mouth to start the second half. You got 5 guys running right at you, so way to get down, and hey, look, you put this high-powered offense in positive territory to start.
Saxton will throw, looking to go deep, going to step up, settle for an out pattern, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, they're going to attack those seams. They really only used it the first drive. where they went with the play action. Then you got guys running down the seams, going against that cover one look. See if they get back to it. Again, you're going to see zero let up from Coach Debs in this offense to start this third quarter.
Orsini's the tailback to start the third quarter. He has scored 2 touchdowns in this football game, and his backup mate, Gage Dusler, has also scored 2. You know, looking at Saxon's stats, and you have mentioned, you know, he's the 10,000-plus yard quarterback. This year, though, he's only thrown 5 touchdown passes in 5 games. And that offensive line and the running game has been the reason for that, because they haven't needed to throw all the time. That's
Well,
Sean Michael James.
If we're doing a home game here, there's the prerequisite. Number 44, Sean Michael James. He will have a bootleg catch. We've seen him convert it into a touchdown. We've seen it converted into first downs. That is it's funny to talk about. That's a hallmark of this offense. Every year, think back to guys like Aaron Aguilar. Now Sean Michael James has been doing it for a couple years. They always have that H-back. They love that boot action. Really love it down in the red zone. And like I said, each game that we do, it seems like 44 is getting that ball in that situation.
1st and 10. Spartans with the football on the 38. Pump fake over the middle. Wide open at the 25 is Ethan Dahlem.
That was great. Great patience by Drew. Zone defense look from St. Vincent there. Get them moving horizontally, and then you got the slant coming in right behind them. So all credit to Dahlem, sticking to the route, getting into the window of the zone. You'll see Saxon here pause, little shoulder fake. There it is, wide open.
Picks up 16. Spartans now with the football at the St. Vincent 21. Coyne and Dahlem set to their quarterback's right. Nurk and Wykowski out to the left. It's almost an embarrassment of riches with options that Saxon has to throw to. They'll hand it off to Orsini. Opening on the left side, Antonio near the 10, and he gets the football up to the 11.5-yard line.
I like the look. I like the aggressiveness. You can tell the offensive line is still firing off there. And St. Vincent, for better or worse right now, they just don't have enough on defense to stop this offense. So like you hit on, it's multifaceted. You look at the individual stats of the Spartans offensive players, not great. There's not going to be anybody that's going to win All-American honors by any means, but the reason for that is they have 5 or 6 guys that they can go to. They're consistent. They spread the wealth. They do take carries and receptions from each other, but that's a good thing. It's a team game for a reason. They make it very, very difficult on the defense to defend them.
So it's now 1st and 10 from the 11. Spartans trying to put their 5th touchdown of the afternoon on the board. Orsini straight up the middle with a hole. He's at the 5, and Antonio Orsini gets inside the 5-yard line. Orsini on the season, 82 carries coming into today, 407 yards. Every time he touches the football, he picks up at least 5 yards. And he now has 5 touchdowns after adding 2 more today.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. He'll do it through the air. We've seen him in the screen game for 2 years now, and obviously very adept on the ground as well.
So Saxon under center. Antonio looking for his 3rd touchdown, pushing. And that St. Vincent defense leaves him 1 yard short.
Yeah, he's going to get it again here.
Sean Michael James now coming into the game, and there is a timeout. St. Vincent has called a timeout. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Saxton to Orsini, first back through, and Antonio Orsini with his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon.
There you go. It's been the passing attack to get him down there and the rushing attack to put it in the end zone. So We've seen Dusler, we've seen Orsini, rinse, repeat, get down there and find the end zone. Spartans able to extend the lead. 4-touchdown lead pending the extra point.
You know, it's almost, I don't want to say boring, but it's been very easy today, hasn't it, Andrew?
We like boring. We will take boring. We'll take boring. We'll take simple. This game's a lot more fun when you're able to execute and move the ball pretty much when and where you want it.
11:37 left to play in the third quarter. That drive started in great field position for Case Western Reserve because St. Vincent tried to surprise them with a second half onside kick that was recovered nicely by the linebacker Jake Summers near midfield. So it didn't take much, but the Spartans got the job done, and they've added their 5th touchdown of the afternoon. It's 35-7. So if you're St. Vincent, you've got nowhere to go but up and not a whole lot of time to do it. Yes, you have a whole half to do it, but when you're down 4 touchdowns and you've got to score, plus you've got to hold a team that you've been unable to hold yet.
Yeah,
have the Spartans punted? They have not.
Nope, and that's the tough part. So even if Case were to be held at 35 points, you know, as difficult as it'll be for the Bearcats to get 28 unanswered, I don't have a ton of confidence in them, you know, being able to put a stop to the Spartans' offense. So, tall task. Starts with 1, though. You got to do it piece by piece.
Return caught at the 20 and up past the 30. That's Sanio Powell. St. Vincent on the season offensively, just under 250 yards per game, averaging about 18 points. In that first half, they had 156 yards total offense, but at least half of those came on one drive. Other than that one drive, it was a shutdown service by that Spartan defense.
Yeah, and they've, you know, for one reason or another, they've struggled to put points on the board. Season high of 21, and 21 was twice in 2 losses. So defense has struggled, and it puts the offense in a bind. Now they're going to get one-dimensional as they hand the ball off and make me look real smart here, but they're going to have to air it out. That's where their playmakers are, and just looking at the clock, they're going to have to go through the air to get this done.
It's DJ Gray who picks up 2 yards. Gray coming into the day, averaging 5 yards per carry with 3 touchdowns and 317 yards rushing in 4 games. Olayo Irfan, the talented wide receiver, has been kept in check pretty much this entire game with the exception of one play.
Well, there he goes.
Irfan right now. Caught it at the 37 of the Spartans. Well, they're really giving him some cushion too, aren't they? You're a former defensive back. When do you decide how much you're giving a guy that you're covering, cushion-wise?
Well, when you look across the field at a guy like Irfan, you're going to give a little more just based on pure speed. The message from Coach Miller at halftime, I'm sure, was no big plays. We'll gladly now.
So keep them in front of you.
Keep them in front. Do they love a 20-yard reception like that? No, but looking forward, you'll gladly take 6-7 yards. You just can't afford the 50-yarder.
Deep pass, wide open receiver at the 5, caught, and thankfully, momentum took Wade Corbin out of bounds.
Yeah, and you're going to see Coach Miller get pretty animated here. The one thing that will not be acceptable, regardless of what the scoreboard is St. Vincent coming out and moving the ball like they have this drive so far.
Yeah, 2 plays in like 15 seconds, and they're at the doorstep of a touchdown.
Yep. So we've seen it in games past. The Spartans defense can rise up here in the red zone a little bit, and they're going to have to do that here. But you know, just not exactly the defensive start that you wanted coming out. It can be tough to focus. You're up 4 touchdowns, but you still got to have good discipline and build good habits.
They'll throw it, and it's incomplete. Try to get it to the tight end, and just over the reach of Grant Musser.
Yep, so second down, and like we said, St. Vincent, if they're going to have any chance of coming back, they got to get 1. Can't settle for field goals. They do need to find the end zone here, and we saw it on the 2 plays before that right there. Going to Irfan, spreading the ball around, able to get chunk plays through the air. That's really going to be their only recipe for success today.
Second and goal from the 4. Gray and Creamer in the background. Gray's going to get the handoff. And he will push the pile near the 1. St. Vincent wants a touchdown. No arms have been raised by officials. And they'll mark him at the 1.
Just to be clear, they will go for this on 4th down. So 3rd and 1 here. They're going to bring in a sub package. Looks like they brought in some of the big boys. They got 2 plays to get 1 yard as their approach right now.
Different quarterback, direct snap.
Anytime you see a number 53 in the backfield in motion, it's probably going to be a power run up the middle. So
that was Max Pizzula.
Yeah, credit to St. Vincent. We said it earlier. Almost all their yards in the first half came on 1 drive there. Quick strike in that instance, able to come back and do another quick strike here. Coach Mo is going to be rather animated on the sidelines, if I had to guess. And again, that's just not something that he wants to see from his defense, regardless of where the score is.
Yeah, if you needed to get the edge back, if you're a Spartan player in general, offensively or defensively, that touchdown drive by St. Vincent will give you your edge back. They're not going away.
Nope. Nope, it's a 4-quarter game. Got to play whistle to whistle, beginning to end.
35-14, 9:07 left to play, 3rd quarter. We'll be back.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4 Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Amy will kick it off. Looks like he will kick it this time, not a squibber. Case Western Reserve trying to improve to 4-2 on the year and 3-1 in the pack. That one's going to go out of bounds, and Spartan's going to get great field position again.
Well, here you go. Another chance to keep the good times rolling on offense. Interested to see who comes out at quarterback, if they have 1 quarterback, if they have 2 quarterbacks. Maybe they'll put all 3 out there, keep us on our toes.
Kip's coming out. Let's see if Fromberg would join him. Got Dusler in the backfield, so it's that Kip-Dusler combination that turned in a touchdown last time they were out there for a complete drive. Kip to throw. Nurk going to pick up 2 yards.
And Kip goes with that. It's a good thing, bad thing. He does have a sidearm, we'll say, delivery. We saw it in the first half. It really benefits him sometimes. He's able to fit it into some non-traditional windows, makes some really difficult throws. Just looks a little funky, so gets the job done. Able to get a positive gain there, and we do see Fromberg in the slot here. Keep laughing at your traditional 3rd-string quarterback getting receptions.
He's going to get the ball. Looking for a block, doesn't get one. Actually, it'll be a hold call on Riley Nurk. Riley trying to block St. Vincent's Isaiah McElroy, and he's going to get called for the hold.
And that play there that they just ran, that will be a double pass at some point. You saw it for a millisecond there. He had 2 hands on it and looked, and what I'm sure he's coached up on is
holding. Number 22 offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
If it's a 5-yard gain, they tell him to run it. If they're coming up and flying up, then he's going to dump it over deep. So it'll come at some point. St. Vincent knows it, and anybody watching tape knows it. It's just when is it going to pop off?
Well, it's one of those things that you mentioned earlier in this research and development stage of the Case quarterback situation. You put it on tape, and somebody's got to pay attention to it.
It's annoying.
Yep.
It's annoying. At the very least, it takes 5 minutes out of the game plan.
Kip, quarterback draw. He's going to pick up the 10 yards back, or at least close to it.
This is one of the only third and longs I can remember today. So, good situational practice. Given the defense's performance on the last drive, I'm not sure they want to go 3 and out here, but we'll see if they're able to convert 3rd and 10.
Empty backfield, 5 receivers. Need to get to the 45. Kip's going to get pressured. He's in trouble. Sending receivers deep. Going to set his feet, throw it deep, wide open at the 30. Nurek down inside the 20 to the 15-yard line.
Great play. Great play. Kip's an athlete. We've seen it on the ground. That time he's able to use the legs and extend. Credit to Nurek for keeping his head on, working back to the quarterback, and something that I'll call out, right in the sun, looking right into the sun, got to go center fielder mode and able to focus and make that catch. Huge play, able to convert 3rd and 10, and you see him pointing. Biggest thing here is the receivers have to work back to the quarterback. You got to give him a shot. Great throw by Kip, just laying it up there, and off they go.
And they are at the 16-yard line. Once again, looking like they'd add their 6th touchdown of the afternoon. Kip looking left. Over the middle, touchdown, there it is, number 6. It's Isaiah Harrington. I said the embarrassment of riches at wide receiver, and how many guys have caught a pass today?
Caught a pass, we got, I think that's our first passing touchdown.
It is.
Again, the passing offense has been the bell cow, the one to get them down into the red zone. Running backs have been coming in and vulturing the touchdowns, but Kip able to find up the seam. Yeah, and Arrington is probably their 4th or 5th receiver, and he shows the ability to get open there and run up the seam for a touchdown. So the offense keeps rolling. This is dominant, beginning to end, exactly what the offense needed.
With 6 minutes and 53 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter, that Rhodes point after touchdown makes it Case Western Reserve 42, St. Vincent 14. We'll be back.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Well, I can't imagine a better homecoming scenario, Andrew, than just a walk in the park kind of wonderful day to sit here and watch the Spartans dominate.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else going on in the sports world. This is all you got. This is the primetime viewing in Cleveland, Ohio right now. So it's been good. Homecoming weekend, you typically are intentional or logical about your scheduling, I would say. We saw the stats before the game. Cases won, I believe it's 7 in a row, however many straight on homecoming, and looks like they're going to add another one. It's been beginning to end performance by the team today.
Trying to find space and creating a little bit is Berkeley, the wide receiver turned kick returner.
Yeah, and this will be a good test. So we just saw it last drive. St. Vincent was able to come out, get big chunk plays. Other than the 3 they ran inside the 5-yard line. It took them about 3 plays to go 50, 60 yards. So see if the defense is able to step back up. I can assure you that they are not pulling the starters after that pass drive.
No, yeah.
They will not be pulling them. You got to go out. You want to get a break, you got to earn it. So we'll see if they're able to get back to their first half ways here against the Bearcat offense.
Especially when you consider, as Walker is ready to take his snap, he'll hand it off, fake handoff to Gray. Walker's going to go deep. Airfin out there. Oh, ball almost picked off at the 25-yard line. Especially when you consider the last 3 weeks defensively. They gave up 14 points against Grove City. They gave up 7 points against Geneva, and they gave up 10 points against the 25th ranked team in the country, who at the time, WJ was ranked 10th in the country. So this defense has a sense of pride about them now, specifically built over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, and so much of defense is confidence, just similar to offense. You got to go out. They've given up 40 points across the last 3 games. That's tremendous. That's great. Want to keep it up today, again, independent of the scoreboard. Nobody likes seeing 45-28 or some crummy score like that. So stay the aggressor, keep fighting out there, and trust the scheme. That'll be the best thing for this team, not only today, but also going forward.
Pass to Downs, picks up 7. Call it 8. It'll be 3rd and 2 at the 45. Spartans jumped offside. That was an active linebacker.
We're going to have false start, and that's because the defense does have the right. If they come across, they can get back. Wide receiver on the side closest to us jumped.
False start. Offense. Number 15.
You were on the
5-yard penalty.
Andrew Ross.
Start down.
Spent a lot of hours on the couch, Ron. Watching a lot of football.
Well, you know what? Marco Toth and Kate Tong just did a little low 5 to each other. They're both on that left side of that line.
They're taking credit for that? Sure. Sure. So, back them up 5 yards, puts them into 3rd and long, and looks like Mr. Earfin's been their go-to so far the second half. We'll see if they go back there.
Looking over the middle with pressure, stepping up, avoiding it. Gonna have to run. Ball is on the ground. Will they say the ground caused the fumble? They do. Walker fumbled it, but it was as he was brought down to the turf.
Yeah, and they brought the heat. They brought at least 2 guys, looked like a safety blitz, and then you had Ryan Cabrera running with his hair on fire. That was a great play. It looked like the quarterback had a free path to the first down. Cabrera able to track him down. Ball might have been wiggling. I think if we had the full CBS crew going right now, could have given us a challenge replay scenario. You aren't able to challenge in Division III football, but nevertheless, able to get the stop on 3rd down, and St. Vincent forced the punt.
Fake punt. Wide open look. With space down to the 30 and run out of bounds at the 24-yard line. That was a perfectly executed fake punt that time. Kyle Coombe with the catch and the run.
I hate it. You could hear it in my reaction there. I hate it, hate it, hate it. It's tough. Defense did such a good job getting off the field there, and what we've seen in the first half, St. Vincent's punt team, not the greatest operation time. Schuster's been in there. He's almost blocked 3 punts at this point. I'm not saying they're getting greedy, but they did stay aggressive, going for the punt block there, and then he just dink it off below. So all credit to the St. Vincent coaching staff there. It takes guts. It takes guts and execution, and they're able to pick up a cheap first down and get that offense back out there.
Inside the 25 are the Bearcats. Brady Walker to throw. Over the middle, it's Irfin at the goal line, and it's a down at the 1.
That's probably the 3rd or 4th time they've been a millisecond away from a sack. And you'll see it here, getting pressure. Walker's able to get the throw off. Irfin able to make the tough contested catch, and once again, getting chunk plays through the air, getting down inside the 5, look for them to run the ball and punch it in.
Walker going to take it himself, up and over the pile. And the signal is up. It's a touchdown. Brady Walker with a 1-yard keep. And St. Vincent with their 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. 2nd of this second half.
And that's frustrating. It was, but it's 3 phases. You got to stay disciplined on special teams, and again, St. Vincent able to pick up the first down, and then go power football, bully ball, jumping over there. So now we're right back to a 3-score game, pending the extra point.
Three minutes, 51 seconds left to play in this 3rd quarter. It's Case Western Reserve 42, St. Vincent 21. We'll take this timeout.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
So at what point do you say, all right, enough's enough, fellas, defensively?
2 touchdowns ago.
Yeah.
That would be the answer. Yeah, this, like I said, they're not taking the starters out at any time soon. Certainly not in the third quarter. You got to earn, you go to break, you got to earn it. And they certainly have not done that or upheld the standard here in the second half. Now, do I think that the game is in danger? Do I think they're going to give up another 21 unanswered? No, but it is a huge confidence thing, and you let a team start getting these weird bounces, these trick plays, and strange stuff can happen out here on a Saturday afternoon.
This is Ethan Dahlem controlling the football. Spartans will start inside their own 25. If you look ahead a little bit for Case Western Reserve, they don't play again until October 22nd. They have a bye week next week, and they've got Bethany here at home back at DeSanto Field on the 22nd of October. Ian Kipp back at quarterback. Dusler as the tailback. And actually that's Fromberg with the handoff. He'll lose a couple of yards.
Yeah, and I can't tell if Mr. Saxon's day is done completely. He does have the helmet on. He's still over by the offensive coaching staff. Looks like they're content with getting the backups or the, other quarterbacks some work here the rest of the afternoon. Yeah, 21-point lead. Just looking to get some reps, see some different aspects of the offense, continue to build that confidence and momentum.
So second and long, 11 to be exact. Orsini is now the tailback, and Kipp's going to throw it. Ian Kipp steps up, deep ball, caught. Oh, how did he drop that? Michael Wykowski just flat out missed it.
I can tell you, the sun. The sun. It's not a legitimate excuse. It doesn't matter. You got to find a way to do it, but that's a tough catch. Almost a sure touchdown. Great throw. Couldn't draw it up any better. Got the matchup. Got the throw. Just got to complete the catch. I don't even know if he touched it.
It was a perfect throw.
Yep, just missed it. Just missed it.
Well, the good thing is seeing Ian Kipp throw that football. He'll throw it again. Wykowski over the middle got smoked as he went up for it. He got hit hard. Making that hit for St. Vincent was Kyle Kuhn. It's a 3 and out.
Yeah, it's not the drive you wanted. You stop the clock, 3 and out. Starting to see the Bearcats sideline buzzing a little bit, getting a little energy back. That's frustrating.
Nice punt by the Spartans. Irfin fielding it at the 43 and running into some dark blue jerseys.
Okay, story of the second half has been St. Vincent offense being able to move the ball on Case Western. We'll see if that can continue here.
Well, they did a nice job in this same spot in the field in the last possession by St. Vincent until the punt. Clock's at 2:46. Case Western Reserve with a 3-touchdown lead. It's 42-21. Walker will throw it. Looking left, up and over the outstretched arms of Jeffrey Downs.
looking, trying to go around the PAC and what we have going elsewhere. Looking at the matchups, Grove City's at Bethany today. W&J, who the Spartans were able to knock off at Westminster. That's a big one for conference standings. Carnegie Mellon should be able to take care of business at Waynesburg. Then we got the newbies, Allegheny, travel into the triple option of Geneva.
2nd and 10 from the 44-yard line. Walker again with pressure, got rid of it, and it's complete to Downs. You know, we've talked a lot about Irfin, and with good reason. He's a talented wide receiver, but Jeffrey Downs has been very effective today getting open.
I agree. I think he should, by my count, have more catches than Irfin. He's been productive, and that's the value you think about it from a pass rush standpoint. If you got the one guy, you got to have a number 2 to make it work. Same thing with the wide receivers. If you got the star, the guy that everyone's focused on, if you can get a guy that's even close to that ability as your number 2, then it can really start to open things up. It's easy to scheme and lock down one. If you get a 2-headed monster, it can be pretty difficult.
As much as the first half was all Case Western Reserve University, this third quarter has been everything about the Bearcats. Gray off a short pass, and he won't get much. DJ Gray, the sophomore from Beechwood, not too far from the campus of Case Western Reserve.
Yeah, and I'm looking down. This Spartans offense, they look frustrated. They should be. They should be. It was a frustrating drive. Not the best quarter from them, but good news is, again, they're up. We'll call it 21 points. Just call it 21-0. That's usually how I look at it. So it's on the Spartan defense to get the ball back, give them another chance.
2nd and long. Little dump pass to the tight end, and met nicely.
Tell you what, Cabrera can run. He can run, and when he comes up, he comes with it. Bad intentions, and he's able to get guys on the ground. Good closing speed there. Looks like 3rd and short. And as it has been all afternoon, I would assume 2-down territory for St. Vincent.
Ryan Cabrera, one of those 4 junior linebackers. Marco Toth, Sean Torres, Gabe Trock, and Cabrera in that 3-4 defense. 3rd and short. This is Gray. He'll get the first down, and he is going to be marked down at the 23-yard line. Needed to get to the 26.
And he barely did. He had a nice jump cut at the line, able to bounce it outside. Defense didn't necessarily keep contained as intended. Credit to Schuster, able to get him on the ground. It was a nice one-on-one tackle you'll see here on the replay. Here we go, boom. Head on the ball, wrap up the legs, get him down.
Clock's at 16 seconds. The play clock's at 18, so it's St. Vincent's choice whether they want to run another play or not. They have 2 seconds to do it. They did not get it off.
And you know what? They had a reverse, schemed up to Irfin into the boundary there.
That's the end of the
wasted
3rd quarter.
We've got 15 minutes left. Spartans up 42-21. We'll take a timeout when we come back, the 4th and final quarter of play.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
First and 10, St. Vincent with the football. And at what point, Andrew, do you get nervous? If St. Vincent punches it in here and it's suddenly a 2-score game with a whole quarter to play, has the attitude changed?
Yeah, I don't know if it would be nervous. It'd be more of maybe center yourself and refocus. I would say if St. Vincent's able to find the end zone here, we will see Drew Saxon back out there for the offense. Coach Debs will get back to the bread and butter and say, okay, enough enough of looking at different packages. Let's get back and get some points on the board.
Brady Walker goes under center. Irfin's on the right side. Walker's going to throw underneath him, and it's incomplete. Try to get the ball to Scott Garlock, tight end.
I said we would try and get some scores around the PAC. CMU, Carnegie Mellon, our beloved enemies from Pittsburgh. They are playing at Waynesburg today on the road. Halfway through the third quarter, 13-13, Waynesburg, Carnegie Mellon. So keep an eye on that. Second and long here. Irfin's been a little quiet here recently. We've talked about Downs' ability to get open, and we'll see which of the two they choose to go to here.
Handoff will go to Gray. Tries the left side, gets up to the 20.
Yeah, and he had a lane. Looked like his offensive lineman could get credit for the tackle there.
Yeah.
Big third down here. Big third down. Case hasn't been able to stop this offense so far in the second half, and we got third and long. You got to find a way to get off the field and start to shift that momentum back. The last thing you want is for the Bearcats to put it in a third straight drive.
That first down marker is at the 13-yard line. It is 8 yards away. Irfin split out wide to the left. Gray, the lone back in the backfield. Blitz coming right side. Pass complete at the 15, immediately tackled. A nice job there by that Spartan cornerback, Colin Schuster.
Yeah, and Brady Walker's shown a great ability all day. You know, in case blitzes, they're not necessarily picking it up. See here, he's able to drift to the right, feel the pocket, and make a completion, give them a chance on 4th and short here.
So it's 4th and 2. Key moment in this football game. Gray, nothing first, second attempt.
Short.
Gonna be a yard short.
Great play. Great play. Stuffed inside initially. He tries to bounce it. Defense is able to swarm. That's big. I know it's 42-21. I know it's a 21-point game, but they get that first down there. They're able to find the end zone. People start looking around a little bit, start getting a little sweaty palm action going. That's a big stop. Now coming back out here, Drew Saxon back in. They're looking for points here. They want to put a stop to this. They really want to put a lid on the game and get back to what they were doing in the first half.
So it's Saxon and Orsini back in the football game. Orsini, talented senior tailback behind his quarterback. Saxton to pass with space to Nurk. Riley gets it up to the 23-yard line.
Perfect play call. Perfect play call. St. Vincent more or less sold out against the run there. Able to swing it out to Nurk on the outside. Little quick wide receiver screen and pick up 9 yards on first down. They'll take that any day of the week.
Nurk on the year coming into today, 18 catches, over 200 yards receiving. He averages 11 yards every time he touches the football. Orsini right behind his center. Antonio doing a nice job of shuffling those feet. Having
tough
patience, waiting for a seam.
Tough runner, able to slink through there. Looks like Jace Merritt, starting center, is going to come off for just a quick breather. He is jogging off. Hope everything's okay there. Get him back in the lineup. It's good to see a first down there from the Spartans offense. We got a 3 and out. Didn't waste any time with that. Able to start moving the chains again.
I think they've moved Tony Thivner over to center in the absence of Merritt. Orsini going to go right under Thivner. And on the first down run, Antonio picks up 5, maybe 6 yards.
Yeah, they're moving it. They're moving people up front. They're going to keep going to it. The one thing with Coach Debelak, when they're running the ball like that, he'll do it until it gets stopped. It can be really demoralizing for the defense. So it's time for Orsini to earn his paycheck today. He's going to keep putting his head down and get positive yards.
R.J. Prusha, now the offensive lineman replacing Merritt. Thivner has moved to center, and Prusha is playing right guard. 2nd and 4. Orsini again. Nothing to the left, positive yards to the right, and a first down.
And there goes Merritt back out there, so that's good. Tell you, offensive line, there's a couple positions you have to have depth. Offensive line is one of those required ones.
Prusha comes off, and his teammates will thank him for his service.
See the clock wind down. We're under 11 minutes here. They're going to keep running this ball. Ideally, they take off another 5-6. More importantly is finding the end zone here. They will prioritize points over time.
Dusler now in the backfield behind his quarterback. Gage gets the handoff straight ahead. You had mentioned it about Dusler, and I would echo your sentiments. I like how he attacks his carry.
Yeah, and there's different styles. You think Le'Veon Bell is always the prime example of patience. Let the line develop, let the holes develop. Dusler, he does that. He's patient, but he does it while he's moving forward. So worst case scenario, he's going to get 3 yards. Then if the hole's there, he turns it into 7-8 yards like we saw it throughout the first half. He's able to pick up 5 on that run, and yeah, I like it. It's a high floor running style, always attacking like you said.
Dusler again on 2nd and 6. Gage will get maybe 3 yards.
Clock ticks, now under 10 minutes. If they're running the clock, they should be under 9 when they snap this.
Prusha, part of that, or Dusler and Prusha, part of the Avon Lake Shoreman contingent on this football team. There are 5 Shoremen. There are Sicalo, Dusler, Prusha, Michael Stewie, who holds on the long snaps, and then Jake Summers, who's a middle linebacker and was big on that onside kick.
Yeah, we like it. We'll keep taking them. Give us more Shoremen. They've been working out so far for the Spartans.
I was talking to Coach Debs yesterday, and he asked me what high school game I was doing, and I told him I was doing the Keystone Black River game on WEOL, and he had asked if I'd seen Avon and Avon Lake this year, and I said yes. I said I actually did that game. It was a good game until the 4th quarter when Avon's depth just took over their physicality, and they went on a 21-0 run. But he really likes players from Avon Lake and Avon High School. Matt Kostelnik and Mike Elder, the 2 head coaches of those programs, doing a great job. Deep ball, wide open receiver, up and catching it is Coyne.
Wow, great catch. He's going to get a flag too. I think he got held coming out of the break. Able to go up. Big time play.
Boy, Coyne was extending all 6'4" to get up and get that football.
Well, he either got held or he stepped out.
Holding. Number 12, defense. Penalties declined. Result of the play, first down.
Nice. Keep it moving. Keep the clock churning. Go get in the end zone, and we can put a cherry on top of this homecoming win.
As a defender, as a defensive back, what are you taught when a receiver is working that sideline?
Well, you'll hear people talk about it. It's the 12th defender.
Yeah.
It's there. It's not going anywhere. Squeeze guys out. Lean and locate is always the terms that we use. So when you're turning your head, you got to locate the, force them into that boundary, force them out of bounds, and it just makes your life a lot easier.
This is Orsini with the fake. Little sling pass over the middle from Kip.
And he's frustrated. He had him. He had him.
Saxton's going to come back in.
And you see there, they've run it however many times in a row. 2 straight passes there. Don't love that it stops the clock, but if it's run, sometimes you can get the linebackers creeping up, pull the play action pass, and drop it in behind them for a big gain.
Clock's at 7:58. Spartans up 42-21. Fourth quarter. Saxton the pass. This is Nurk to his left. Riley runs out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, and we'll call that basically just a run. It's a high percentage completion. We are over 2 minutes, so even though we went out of bounds, the clock will keep running. Now we got third and medium here. I would imagine if they do not get this, they will send the field goal team out there, would be my guess. But there's a reason Coach Debs is the head coach, and I'm sitting up here talking to all of you.
Isaiah Arrington is checked into the game for the Spartans. He got a touchdown pass last time he was in. He's to the far left of his quarterback, bottom of your screen. Hand off to Orsini with a nice fake inside the 10. He's brought down at the 7. Took it left, cut back right.
Moving along, another first down. And he's had a great day, both Orsini and Dusler. We've said their names plenty throughout, each with multiple touchdowns. It's good to see. It's good to see them get back to a high-powered offensive attack after having just 13 points last week in that disappointing loss at Grove City. Anytime you're going over 40, that's a good sign of things to come as well.
Saxton has the call. Play clock's at 12. Using that play clock for all it's worth. This is Orsini. Antonio gets near the 5. Orsini has 3 touchdowns rushing today. Gage Dusler has 2. Isaiah Arrington caught a Ian Kipp 16-yard pass for the other score.
And they are milking that clock. Still 20 seconds left in the play clock. Under 6 now. Again, they'd love to get a touchdown. Makes the clock more or less irrelevant if they're able to put it in here.
Saxton will roll, in trouble, tries to roll out of it, and he cannot. He's sacked at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and that is not what you want to see. Not good, but the clock is still rolling. Getting cute there, trying to pull the ball and do a little play action approach.
Credit Darius May with that sack.
I believe that's the second sack on the day. Hasn't been a huge pass rush for St. Vincent today. Credit to the Spartan offensive linemen. They've, as we've touched on, been moving people in the run game, but also done a good job of keeping their quarterback fairly clean outside of that play there.
The Spartans are 14 yards out, and they need 14 yards for a first down and a touchdown. Saxton going to step up. Thinking about passing, and he just throws it out of bounds.
Smart play. Thought they had some options there, but it's tough. There's bodies flying around. There's passing windows, and what you definitely can't have happen now is, you're late over the middle, and then you got a pick coming back the other way. So we'll send the field goal team out there. Hopefully, easy 3-point addition to the scoreboard, and that's a great drive. I think they got the ball with just a little over 12 minutes, so call that a 7-minute drive, milk it down, and that'll really make things difficult for St. Vincent.
Joseph Rhodes, the 5th, will line up for the point after touchdown, or actually the field goal. It'll be a 31-yard field goal. Rhodes' kick is up, and it is good.
Nice.
4:46 left to play in the football game. Spartans of Case Western Reserve 45, St. Vincent 21 on homecoming Saturday here at Case Western Reserve. Andrew and I will be back.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, Holiday party or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
St. Vincent after today is back home. They'll host Geneva. And for reference's sake, Spartans have knocked off Geneva already this season 34-7. Bearcats after that kickoff return will have 4 minutes and 39 seconds to overcome a 24-point deficit.
Yeah, I'm looking down on the field. Just a quick injury update. I do see Nathan Sakala wearing a walking boot, so it would appear that his day is over. Hopefully that's just a minor sprain, something that he can use the bye week coming up next week to recover from. That's good timing from his perspective, but yeah, I hope it's just a minor setback for him.
He's a player on that defensive side. You had mentioned they moved him to safety this year. He was one of the top first-year players in the entire league last year at linebacker. Ball over the middle. And this short pass is going to pick up short yards. Bearcats will get about 2.
And if you're the defense, you're looking for tackles inbounds. Tackles inbounds and sacks, and that'll kill this game off and hopefully make it a nice low-stress ending to our contest this afternoon.
Handoff. Met at the 42-yard line. That was a hit.
That's our guy, Osi. So 27 Osi was the one that replaced Nathan Sakalo out there, and he's able to come downhill. He is not the biggest, but he will come and he'll hit you right in your face. Look at that. Good stick. Good stick from the young guy.
Osi Chuchakwa.
I think we're going to be calling his name for quite some time here.
And they're gonna throw a taunting.
That
Sean Torres got very excited about that incomplete pass. That's what Andrew and I were chuckling at. His body language was demonstrative.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 36 of the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
now.
At what point do you just let people play football?
Just, he was by himself. He didn't do it in anybody's face. He gave just a two-handed arm wave. I would like to see that ignored. Maybe the second one probably got it done, but not smart. Can't be doing that stuff, and Coach Miller was appropriately reminding him of that on the sideline.
DJ Gray not getting much.
Approach 3 minutes. Again, 24-point lead for the Spartans. You don't want to see a touchdown here. Get off the field, keep them to that 21 points, and we'll call that a good day for the Spartan defense.
Case drops 8 back in coverage. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. That sets up a 4th down.
See in the replay here, defensive line able to get their hands up and clog up the passing lanes. That's what you got to do. If you can't get home, get the hands up, make it difficult on the quarterback.
Caden Tong is lined up on that left defensive end slot. See if he can get to the quarterback.
Screen.
Screen, but just a couple of yards on 3rd and 9. It was Ryan Whitman.
And this will be the ball game. This will be, St. Vincent can't win it on this play, but they can all but effectively lose it if they do not convert here.
Football needs to get to the 30. Straight back, pass in the air, and a good hit.
Great play. There's our guy, Osi. Great play. It's good to see a freshman get in there, get an opportunity to show off. He's coming up in the run game, also coming up and getting a big pass breakup, and that will go ahead and do it for this game this afternoon.
He's getting a lot of love on the sidelines right now.
I'm telling you, there's no more exciting play than seeing a young guy go out there, especially in a situation like this. Team's had a great game. Get one of the freshmen out there to get some experience, and he's making plays like that. You'll see sidelines go crazy whenever that scenario happens.
So the Spartans will take over on downs. If St. Vincent feels the need, they've got 3 timeouts left. Coach Debelak would like a timeout.
Timeout on the field. Case Western. Their first timeout of the half.
He still looks ornery to me. You know, you mentioned he had an edge coming into today. First of all, he still was unsettled about last week's loss. And secondly, he doesn't like getting beat twice by the same team.
And just to pull the curtain back a little bit, he always has an edge. He's always got an edge. He wants to win 50-0 every game. And that's why he's good. He demands that of his players. I'll never forget our first day of training camp, 2017. He looked at us and said, "You need to go 10-0 to make the playoffs." He knew that. He knew that. He knew he had a senior-laden team, and he put the onus on us to go out and achieve those high expectations. He has the same expectations whether he's got 55 freshmen, 20 seniors out there. Like I said, he wants to win every single week, and that's what makes his program strong year in and year out.
19th year, winningest coach in Spartan football history. And this is going to be a steady diet of running the football.
Looks like Christopher Lim there getting in, getting some action. So start to empty the bench a little bit. This is good experience. St. Vincent still has a lot of their starters out there, so good to get experience on the big stage and show what these young guys can do.
Fromberg's at quarterback. Alex, you're going to wind that play clock. Approaching 2 minutes, still have 17 seconds on the play clock.
For those interested, the Carnegie Mellon Waynesburg score, fourth quarter, it's now 20-20.
Wow.
So still holding up there. Not sure there's anyone that's a bigger fan of Waynesburg than I am right now, but we'll see how that one keeps developing. Looks like Aaron Phillips from Medina Highland. He'll be our fourth quarterback of the day. Getting in there, getting some reps. Really a dual threat. He's more than capable on the ground, also shows good ability in the air as well.
Got all sorts of movement.
I was going to say, there's 4 or 5 people coming in and out there.
Phillips will take the snap, keep it himself. He'll get a first down.
And as we go under a minute, looks like they'll need one more snap to get it done. Set it throughout, beginning to end. That's a win that the Spartans needed. Thinking back to last week, dropping that game 14-13 to Grove City. Able to come out today, anytime you put 45 points up on the scoreboard and keep the other team to 21, there's a lot of good things happening to make that score show up there.
Fromberg now back into quarterback. His turn for the quarterback draw.
And that should do it. Good win, 4-2 on the year.
Coach Debs leads his team on the field. And to a win today. 45-21 your final on homecoming Saturday at DeSanto Field. As Andrew said, Spartans improved to 4-2 on the season. They are 3-1 in conference play. And for St. Vincent, the Bearcats dropped to 1-4, 1-2 in conference play. As both teams shake hands, we'll take this opportunity to take one more break. When we come back, Andrew and I'll put a bow on this one, and we'll wish everyone a happy Saturday. That's next.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
A lot of players moving through that line. Coach Debelak to the left of your screen, rounding up the troops. They'll huddle up near the 30, and they'll talk about what was good about today, and there was a lot good about today.
Yeah, I don't know how I can concisely say it. Looking at the offensive stats, Saxton 13 of 19, 236, no picks. Looking at the receivers, 4 guys with 2 or more receptions: Coyne, Dahlem, Wykowski, Nurek. On the ground, Antonio Orsini getting his 89 yards, 3 touchdowns, Dusler 43 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then on the defensive side, hey, third quarter, not great. Overall, though, anytime you win by 24 points, you're going to take that. Defense continuing to mature, continuing to learn and trust the scheme, and that's a big team win. You can see the team clapping it up there. Coach Debelak's going to be more than happy with that on a homecoming Saturday.
We talked about the defense and that linebacker core, and they were the leaders in the tackles today. But the number 1 leader in tackles, a cornerback that we really didn't even mention. He went unnoticed almost, and it's Dominic Size. He had 9 tackles today.
Yeah. Well, bad job by us. We got to recognize the MVPs.
Sorry
Mr.
to
Size.
Dominic's parents that we didn't get his name in there today.
Hey, when you're a cornerback, usually going anonymous is a good thing. You don't want to hear your name a whole
That's
lot.
right.
Don't want to hear the name. But
you only hear it when you got burnt, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
I would agree. So, beginning to end, defense led by, looking at the tackles, Sice, Torres, Trock, and Toth. Great job by those guys. Junior linebackers leading the charge as always.
So how fun is this on a homecoming Saturday? The day's beautiful. You just knocked off a team to improve to 4-2 and 3-1 in conference play, and get together in your position groups down there right now. Do you remember your moments like this?
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them. And I'll take it a step further. This is every football player's favorite holiday coming up this week, the bye week. You got a week off. You'll get a good week of practice. Great week to get back in the weight room, get some of the numbers back up. For guys that are banged up a little bit, you get a week off to get healthy and come back full go after that and get ready for this home stretch. Again, everything in front of the Spartans, control their own destiny. Everything's on the tables, including a playoff berth.
Well, a big thank you to everyone involved in the production of this broadcast today. We always have a great production team. Today, no different. Beautiful day at DeSanto Field. Spartans with smiles on their faces. Parents happy for homecoming weekend. And it's a great day. The final today from Case Western Reserve University, the Spartans 45, the Bearcats of St. Vincent 21. For Andrew Russman, I'm Ron Yantz. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching.